Good evening, everybody, and welcome to SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football. We're coming to you live from Jarrell, Texas, home of the Cougars. Here tonight, Cougar Field. The Florence Buffaloes just now taking the field, waiting the arrival of your Jarrell Cougars. I'm Wally Harmon for SHN Sports, broadcasting the game tonight here at Jarrell. We come to a battle tonight. Florence comes into the game, no wins, one loss on the season, a home blowout by Thorndale, 64-6. Jarrell comes home to the friendly confines of their home stadium on an 0-1 record after losing 56-3 to an amazingly talented Whitney Wildcat team. Tonight, the two teams go at it. Local schools not far apart, and they will do battle here in Jarrell, Texas. We're about 8 minutes short of the kickoff as the umpire referees get the teams together, get the captains. The Cougars are coming out of the inflated helmet on the far end of the field. They're jumping around, ready to come. I tell you what, Jarrell comes into the game. I think with their spirits, they've got to be up. They played hard the entire time against Whitney. They never gave up, scoring their only 3 points of the game late in the game on a field goal by Perez. Jesus Perez made the field goal, and so they just never stopped. They kept running the ball. They kept passing and just kept battling against a very good Whitney Wildcat team. And so tonight we look at some different things. The Cougars are coached by head coach Amos Davidson. His assistant coaches, Zane Hicks, Chris Arlt, Anthony Black, Dean Fitzner, Chet Foraker, Guillermo Gonzalez, Casey Hayes, Chase Marler, Juan Marshall, Andrew Sumner, and Joshua Velez. Athletic trainer Ryan Williams. Student trainers Andrew Davis, Gabriel Carrizales, Marcela Sanchez, and Marissa Sanchez. Tell you what, here we go. The Jarrell Cougars now lining up on the home sideline here on the near side of the field. They're wearing the all grays tonight, gray pants, gray jerseys with blue numerals and letters. The white helmets with the royal blue logos and stripes across the top. As they lock arms and the captains prepare with the referee to head out. And on the opposite side of the field, you have the Florence Buffaloes, the visitors tonight, into all white with purple lettering, white helmets with the purple accents. And the Buffalo captains are out in front. Florence comes into the ball game. They're coached by Drew Bridges, offensive coordinator Bryce Estes, defensive coordinator Brent Petrell, Joel Bell, Robert Hedrick, Chris Hill, Joseph Plyler, Danny Wood, and Colton Wood are the assistants. As the captains meet to the center of the field for the coin toss, all the players will shake hands. For the Cougars, the captains on the field representing the Cougars, it'll be number 6, Jesus Perez, number 77, Jake Copeland, number 63, Anthony Gaddison, and number 72, Thomas Clausen for your Cougars. For the Florence Buffaloes, we'll get their captains here in a second as they're covered up now, standing at the midfield on the big JC logo, the Jarrell Cougar logo on the big white state of Texas right on the 50-yard line. Beautiful night here for high school football in Jarrell, Texas. Clear skies. The lights are on. The sun's fading in nicely behind us to the west. And the coin flips up in the air and on the ground. Can't see what the referee states, but it looks like he's looking at Jarrell. They're going to be turning towards the south. And the referee will now give us a heads up. Florence won the toss, and they'll be receiving the ball. The Florence Buffaloes will be receiving from the north end. They'll start off left to right on your radio dial. The Cougars will kick from the south to the north and defend the Cougar goal on the south end of the field. Number 5, 10, 74, and 30 were the Florence captains. Carson Crane, Clayton Brown, C.J. Seal, and Ricky Villarreal were your captains for the Florence Buffaloes. We're going to go to the national anthem here from the Jarrell Cougar Band. And a great job by the Jarrell Cougar Band and tonight's national anthem as we prepare for kickoff here in Jarrell, Texas. We'll go over the starting lineups for the Florence Buffaloes on offense. At left tackle will be 65, Troy Dunnigan. Left guard will be number 56, Gilberto Mora. The center will be number 52, Colby Matthews. The right guard, number 50, Josiah Collins. The right tackle, number 74, Ricky Villarreal. The tight end, number 82, Tyler Egger. At quarterback, you're going to have number 12, Dylan Tamplin. And the running back, you're going to have number 11, Eric Grimm, and number 30, C.J. Seal. And your wideouts will be Clayton Brown, number 10, and number 16, Derek LeBounty, along with other receivers that will be there. For the Jarrell Cougars, the starting defense, on the defensive line, you're going to have number 77, Jake Copeland. To his left will be Andrew Brindle, number 79. At nose tackle, number 72, Thomas Clausen. And to his side will be number 54, Jose Zavala. And the other end will be number 65, Brenham Wilson. Your linebackers will be three guys. Number 1, Derek Warren. Derek Warren, Ramon Rodriguez, and Aiden Edgar will be a linebacker. And then you'll have C.J. Allen on the corner and Guerra on the left corner. Kickoff goes, fielded at the 25 by the Buffaloes. He runs it up and runs into a swarm of the Cougars there at the 35, 36-yard line. And that's where we'll start. 1st and 10 for the Florence Buffaloes. First quarter tonight brought to you by Georgetown Jewelry. Thank Georgetown Jewelry and Ricky Poe for their sponsorship of Jarrell Cougar football. Florence will start. Looks like they're going to be spotted at the 37-yard line. And now Tamplin will under center. I formation. He'll spin to his left and then run to the left over the left tackle. He breaks it to the outside over the 40 to the 50, 45, and taken out of bounds at the 43-yard line of Jarrell. Nice run by Tamplin there. A quick spin, fakes the handoff to the up back, and breaks around the end of the left tackle all the way down to the Jarrell 43. By Tamplin. The Cougars are facing another running team here early, like the Whitney Wildcats. So the Buffaloes line back up. Tamplin back under center in the I formation. Takes a snap, and he'll hand to the deep back. He breaks it to the right side outside the right tackle, and he's written down past the 35 to the 33-yard line, right at the first down marker. They're going to blow the whistle, and they're going to say it's enough. A 10-yard gain there by number 11, Eric Grimm, off the right side, written down at the 33-yard line. Now another 1st and 10 for the Buffaloes. Here in the first quarter, 11-13 left in the quarter, clock running. Tamplin under center. He'll turn, and he curls to the left, and he's hit quickly at the 30-yard line. Advances to the 29. A gain of 4 yards there by Tamplin. Good stop by the linebackers stepping up for the Cougars. And now we're going to have a whistle blown. Looks like Tamplin took a shot. His helmet is now off, and he's kind of walking off in his own power towards the sideline. And we're going to have looks like we're going to have a quick substitution at quarterback for the Buffaloes. It's going to be 2nd down, 6 yards to go from the 29-yard line. Number 16, Derek LeBounty, the backup quarterback's in. It takes a snap, hands to the deep back Grimm. Grimm to the left side. He's going to drive, gets hit, and finally stood up at the 23-yard line. The whistle's going to blow there, and they're going to stop the clock, and it looks like they're going to spot it enough for a 1st down. Nice run by Grimm there to the left side. His 2nd touch in the drive. He picks up the 6 needed for a 1st down, and Tamplin comes right back in at quarterback. Tamplin comes right back in at quarterback for the Buffaloes. 1st and 10 from the Jarrell 23. Tamplin back under center. Takes a snap, and he'll hand it to Grimm on the left. He breaks to the left side and quickly stacked up. Nice tackle there. Can't see the number, a 1-yard gain for Grimm. Great job. Looked like one of the quarterbacks stepped up quickly, grabbed Grimm, threw him to the ground for a 1-yard gain. A great job there. And that'll bring the Buffaloes up against the 2nd and 9 now. From the 22-yard line of Jarrell. Tamplin steps back, gets the call. Now he'll go back under center. Right behind him will be C.J. Sill. He'll hand it to Grimm again in the right side, right up the middle, up the right guard. He stacks it up to the 20, and he gets stood up, and the whistle blows. Forward momentum is stopped at the 20-yard line, and that's all he'll get. 2 more yards for Grimm. That'll bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Florence Buffaloes. Great stop there. The Cougars, this up. Several Cougars at the same time stacking up Grimm, not letting him continue with the movement. He was pushing with those legs and not able to get another yard. So a good 2-yard gain there. Good job by the defense to stand up for the Cougars. It's 3rd and 7 from the 20-yard line of Jarrell. Tamplin gets the signal, and he'll step back up under the center. I formation again. Tamplin takes the snap, and he's going to go to the left. Off the left end, he's all around to the numbers, and he's stacked up. Great job by the Cougar defense. They make a stand at the 18-yard line. He's going to be well short of the first down. Great defensive play by the Cougars. And now the Florence Buffaloes are going to figure out what to do here. It's going to be 4th down and about 4 yards to go. Currently on the 18-yard line, or 17-yard line, excuse me. They've got to get to at least the 14 or 13. Let's see what they've got on the board. It's going to be 4th and 4. It looks like the Buffaloes are going to go for it. Tamplin steps back, gets the signal. And he'll step back up under center. I formation, 1 wide receiver to both sides. He'll fake the handoff, and he's going to pass out to the right to the 15-yard line. Caught C.J. Sill, and he's ridden down at the 5-yard line. Make it to 6. He hit nice tackle there by Martin Torres, but just a little too late. Gets the first down at the 6-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the for the Buffaloes on the Jarrell 6. Nice little play there. The first pass of the game for Tamplin. Nice little fake to Grimm. Draws in that play action and hits Sill coming out of the backfield. Tamplin back under. He'll take the snap, hand it to Grimm right up the middle to the left, off the left guard, and he's ridden down quickly about the 2-3 yard line. They're going to spot him. Knee down. Far side judge has him at the 4. So it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. 7:40 left in the first quarter. The Buffaloes don't huddle up. They just all kind of turn in formation and get the signals from the sidelines. 3 coaches giving different signals to Tamplin. Tamplin gets it. The lineman back down on the ground. Tamplin under center in the I formation. 2 wide receivers to the left. Tamplin spins, comes to the left. Now he's going to cut it up. And he's stacked up at the 3-yard line. Make it the 2 on forward progress. And he'll be stopped there at the 2-yard line. Now it'll be 3rd and goal from the 2 for the Florence Buffaloes. A good job there. It looked like Tamplin had a good lane. He's going to sneak through, and he got stacked up quickly and thrown back. And that'll stop the Buffaloes short at the 2-yard line. 3rd and goal for the Buffaloes. Tamplin looks back, gets the signal, and he'll call it out. Step up under center, I formation. No wide receivers. It's a big stacked line here. Strong right, hands it to Grimm up the middle. Grimm runs into a pile, and it's just stacked up, and it looks like they're going to get the surge. What's the call? And it is a touchdown. Grimm just got pushed into the end zone. It looked like a big, massive pile of Buffaloes and Cougars all stacked up, and just the momentum carries forward into the end zone. And the Buffaloes will score first. 6:42 left in the first quarter, and it's a 6-0 lead for Florence. A great job there by Grimm. Good running. He's quick. Hits a hole. He's done outside, now back inside, and that surge there. That strong right offensive line had 5 or 6 guys on the right side, and Grimm kind of followed right behind the center and right guard right into the end zone through that pile. Now Florence will set up for the extra point try. The kicker, Angel Perez, puts it up and through, and it's good. So with 6:42 left in the first quarter, Florence strikes first on their first possession. They drive from the 33-yard line and score a touchdown and take it to 7-0. So we'll take a quick break and wait for the kickoff. Jarrell Cougar will have the kickoff when we come back. Welcome back to Georgetown SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football here on SHN Sports. Brought to you this first quarter by Georgetown Jewelry. And we have the kicker, Angel Perez, back for the Buffaloes. He'll kick it from the 40. A little high, short kick, fielded at the 22-yard line. And he's going to bring it out to the left side. Tap dances down the sideline and runs out of bounds. Steps out at the 36-yard line. Nice return there from the 22. 14-yard return for the Cougars. And he just couldn't stay upright. A good pack was chasing him for the Buffaloes. But good starting field position at the 36-yard line for the Cougars. And the Cougars huddle on the sideline. Get the call from Coach Amos Davidson. And they'll take to the field now in the all grays. They're going to right to left on your radio dial. Under center is going to be Heron Rodriguez. In the shotgun. Got two receivers right, one left. Bobbles the snap over his head. He's going to try to fall on it, and he does. Back at the 25-yard line. A battle there between, looks like number 18, Aiden Egger, and the offensive lineman defensive lineman, Ricky Villarreal for the Buffaloes. But the Cougars retain possession, but it's going to be a loss of 12 on the play. 2nd and 22 from their own 25. Rodriguez takes a snap, hands it off to Warren. Warren breaks it to the right side, up between the numbers, and he's out and away. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Cougars. Jarrell Cougars get on the board on a second play of the game. And what a job by Warren. He takes the handoff from Rodriguez, cuts it to the right, in between the hash marks and the numbers, and there's no catching him. Warren was untouched once he cracked the offensive line of scrimmage and takes it all the way to the house. What a run by Warren. Like last week, he never gave up. He kept running the ball hard. What a great play. Jarrell Cougar answers the Florence Buffaloes right back. 7-6. The Cougars now going for looks like they're going to go for the 2-point conversion. Rodriguez is going to take the snap. It hits him. He's going to run to his left. He's going to throw it up. And it's short to the 5-yard line and no good on the 2-point conversion. The Florence Buffaloes stand their ground there. And that'll leave the score 7-6. The Buffaloes lead the Cougars. But a great job, Jarrell. Welcome home. You come to your home stadium. Second play of the night after a bobbled snap on the first play for a loss of 12. And Warren doesn't let it affect him. He runs for 75 yards. What a great play for the Cougars. 5:46 left in the first quarter. We'll take a quick timeout and be back with more Jarrell Cougar football on SHN Sports. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage. Jarrell Cougar football. The kick is off and to the left. Fielded at the 21-yard line by the Buffaloes. He'll run it back towards the middle, to the middle of the field in between the hash marks, and he's tackled number 25 for the Buffaloes. That's going to be Brendan Wolzebach, the hardest name on the roster, and, of course, we get it right off the bat. Nice return there. And so the Buffaloes will take over at their own 36-yard line. And so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 36. Make it the 37. They're going to spot him at the 37-yard line. 5:39 left here in the first quarter for the Buffaloes. Tamplin back under center with the I formation. 2 receivers to the right, none to the left. Tamplin will take the snap. Looks like a false start. No, flag thrown. Pitches left to a new running back. It looks like Looks like my man, Woljaback. I'm going to go with Brendan. Brendan runs it to the left, and he gets run out of bounds. Looks like he got run out of bounds about the 44-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 3 for the Buffaloes. Woljaback is now your deep back in the I formation, the running tailback for the Buffaloes, as Grimm is not on the field right now. Tamplin back under. C.J. Still the fullback in the I formation. Grimm turns, hands it to Woljaback. Off to the right side, out towards the hash marks. And he's met there. Bounces off a tackle into Jarrell territory past the 45, down to the 43-yard line. Tough running by Woljaback for the Buffaloes, and that'll be another first down and 10 for the Buffaloes at the Jarrell 43-yard line. Woljaback got hit head on by Torres. Torres just couldn't get him wrapped up, and Woljaback popped off of him and went for about 8 more yards. Nice run there by Woljaback. Buffaloes step up to the ball, 1st and 10 from the Jarrell 43. Tamplin under center, 2 receivers left, 1 right, I formation. C.J. Sill. Tamplin's going to turn and keep it himself. Breaks across the 40 to the 39. A lot of movement from Tamplin as he comes out from center. He'll spin around. Sometimes he'll hand it to C.J. Sill. Sometimes he'll stick it in the belly of his tailback, Woljaback, or Grimm. And a lot of times he'll just fake it and then peel off behind the left guard, left tackle, and try to make a play. That time he does for a gain of about 4 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 6 from the Cougar 39-yard line. 4 minutes, 30 seconds and counting here in the first quarter of the ball game. Tamplin back under center. 2 receivers to the right, I formation. He'll step back down the line, pitch it back to Woljaback. He bobbles it. He's going to get stacked up at the 40, a loss of 1. They stop his forward momentum. Great job of pursuing to the ball there by the Cougars on the right side of the field, the far side. Wonderful job there. Woljaback lucky to get that ball back in his hands to keep from the turnover, but it cost him there as it'll get a yard back now. 3rd down, 7 yards to go on the 40-yard line of Jarrell. So a good job there making a little stand for the Cougars. Turnover would have been nice, but Woljaback did a great job there of maintaining his possession, bobbling it, and trying to get forward. 3rd and 7 from the 40 of Jarrell. Tamplin takes it. He'll hand it to Woljaback. He stutter steps to the left, breaks it out to the outside, and he's written down. Another loss on the play. Great job on the Cougar defense. I think it was Copeland stringing that out on the right side all the way to the far sideline for another loss on the play. But a flag is down. So with 3:39 in the first quarter, play stops here for our first penalty flag of the night. It's going to be a holding on the Buffaloes. So now it's going to be declined. Here we go. So it's going to be 4th down. Looks like 4th and 8 now for the Buffaloes. So the decision comes. Do they go for it or not? They're on the 41-yard line of Jarrell. It looks like Coach Bridges is going to go for it here early. It's going to be the 2nd time to go for it so far on the night. The Buffaloes are 1 for 1 on 4th down. And they'll finally get to play. Tamplin back under center. 1 receiver right, 1 left. The right one goes in motion now to the right end. Tamplin back. He's going to pass. He steps back, floats it up to the left, and he's wide open, but drops it. Derek LaBounty out of the backfield. He came in and cut across the back of the linebackers, wide open about the 30-yard line. Would have been a first down, and he can't make the play, and that will cost him a turnover on downs. 3 minutes, 10 seconds left in the first quarter, and Jarrell Cougar football is fired up. They get the ball back on their own 41. Great starting field position. For the Cougars. So they 500 now, 50% on the 4th down attempts. I tell you what, LaBounty makes that catch on the run. He may have been gone, but he doesn't, and it cost him. Jarrell Cougars take over now on their 41, 1st and 10. Rodriguez back, takes a snap, sticks it in the belly of the running back to the left, and he's quickly stacked up. 2 Buffaloes quickly in the backfield. Number 52 and number 55 for the Buffaloes. Colby Matthews and Angel Maldonado. They stop Warren for a loss. It's going to be a loss of 6. That'll bring up 2nd and 16 from the 35-yard line for the Cougars. Rodriguez, offsides on the defense. Flag comes in. He throws it out to the right. And it can't be hauled in. It'll pass a little bit quick and high. But nonetheless, it'll be a free 5 yards for the Jarrell Cougars, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10, or 2nd and 5 for the Cougars. 5 yards. We'll make it 2nd and 11. It was 2nd and 16. They'll get the offsides on the defense. Great job by Rodriguez there. Drew the lineman off. The center snaps the ball. Good job to get the penalty. Free play. But the 5 yards will help. 2nd and 11 from the 40-yard line for the Cougars. Hernandez back. He'll take the snap, stick it in the belly. And no, he pulls it out, keeps it, runs around to the left side, outside the hashes, to the numbers, up to the 44, almost to the 45. Looks like he'll be spotted just shy of the 45-yard line. But it'll bring up a short 3rd down and 6 yards for the Cougars. They do spot it on the 45. Nice run there by Rodriguez. Stuck it in the belly of the running back Warren and pulled it out the last minute. And scampers around the left side for 6. And here we go, 3rd and 6 for the Cougars. He'll hand it off to Warren. He stutter steps to the left. Now he cuts it out towards the numbers. Over the 50, 45, 40. Takes on 2 tacklers and down to the 35-yard line goes Warren. And Warren signals to the coaches, feed me. Warren is hot. He is running the ball well, seeing the holes. He did a little stutter step, waited for the hole. And, man, he hit it outside the numbers on the near side. And a first down and 10 for your Jarrell Cougars at the 35-yard line of Florence. Great running by Warren early on here in the ballgame. Warren to the left side of Rodriguez in the shotgun snap. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Rodriguez, correction, that is not Rodriguez. That is going to be our backup quarterback. He's going to heave it deep into the end zone. Oh, he can't make the catch. Oh, almost at the back of the end zone. A great ball heaved up. And just could not be hauled in, trying to keep his feet in at the back of the end zone. Knocks the pylon over, but an incomplete pass nonetheless. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Jarrell Cougars on their own 35. At quarterback is going to be Aiden Egger. I apologize. Edgar, the starting in at quarterback tonight. Edgar in the shotgun snap. Warren to his left. He's going to hand it off to Warren to the right side. Warren hit quickly, breaks away, gets past the 35 up to the 31-yard line. What a great job by Warren there to save about a 3 or 4 yard loss and turn it into a 3 or 4 yard gain. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Cougars. Spotted at the 32-yard line. 3rd down, 7 to go, 1 minute, 3 seconds on the quarter. In the quarter here, this quarter again sponsored by Georgetown Jewelry here on SHN Sports. Edgar in the shotgun snap, takes it, hands it to Warren, now pulls it out. He goes around the left side, outside the hash marks to the numbers, down to the 30, pushes forward and tackled at the 26, stays in bounds. And now they'll blow it dead. It looks like a first down for the Cougars. Spotted right at the 25. Another first down for your Jarrell Cougars. Great job by Edgar there to follow a blocker on the left end. Stays in bounds and gets taken down right at the yard marker. But another first down for your Jarrell Cougars. 39 seconds and counting on the first down clock, on the first quarter clock. Here in Jarrell, Texas, the Cougars trailing 7-6 to the Florence Buffaloes. Both teams scoring on their first drives. And now the Cougars the defense held on Florence's second drive, and now they're driving, trying to come back. Edgar takes a snap. He drops back to pass. He's going to fire down the middle. Oh, there it is. Pass interference. Great job by the receiver. Kept running his route, got knocked into and knocked off his route. Incomplete pass, but that'll be a 15-yard penalty for your Cougars. Nice pass by Edgar there across the middle, leading his receiver. Just unable to complete it after the contact. Pass interference on the Buffaloes. Should take the Cougars down to at least the 15 or 10-yard line. A 15-yard penalty there on the pass interference. So it goes from the 35. It'll be 1st and 10. They're going to go down to the 13-yard line. They're going to go half the distance at last 5 yards inside the red zone. And so the Cougars now have the ball. 15 seconds left on the first quarter clock. It will be wound up as soon as they snap the ball here. 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Jarrell driving again. Started the possession on their own 41, and now they're down on the Florence 13. Edgar in the shotgun snap, takes it, fakes the handoff. No, he gives it off. On to the right side, stringing it outside the numbers. Penalty flag comes down. Runner fights out of a tackle. He'll get ridden out about the 7 or 8 yard line. But a flag on the play. This one might be coming back. It may have been a hold there on the right side as Warren tried to get across. outside the numbers towards the sideline and get some positive yards. We'll see as they talk it off on the far side. And here comes the umpire. It's going to be holding on the Cougars. So instead of a 5 or 6 yard gain, it's going to be a 10-yard setback for the Cougars. So that'll bring us to 1st and 20 on the 23. 7 seconds left in the first quarter. Florence leads the ball game 7-6. Florence started off on a good possession from their own 33, drove down and scored a 67-yard drive. Capped off by a 2-yard run by Grimm right up the middle. And Jarrell rebounds. Second play of their first possession. Warren broke it for 75 yards. And here we are again, 23-yard line, 1st and 20, first quarter, 7 seconds left. Edgar in the shotgun, takes a snap. He drops back to pass. Now he's going to have to scramble to the left, to the 30, 25, 20. He's got a couple blockers down to the 15 and to the 14. Mark him down at the 13. And as the first quarter comes to an end, Edgar did a great job of getting 10 yards back there. It's going to bring back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10 when we come back to the second quarter here in Jarrell, Texas. We'll take a timeout, be back with the second quarter on Jarrell Cougar football on SHN Sports. Back here on SHN Sports, Jarrell Cougar football brought to you in part by Georgetown Jewelry, proud supporter of Jarrell Cougar football. For all your jewelry needs, including weddings, visit Georgetown Jewelry online at georgetownjewelry.com or come in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown. Also in part by yourpersonalmd.net. Yourpersonalmd.net strives to be the real family doctor and use their skills to provide high-quality care in a setting that will provide satisfaction for both ourselves and our patients. Visit yourpersonalmd.net, and they say, go Cougars. We go to the second quarter, 12 minutes on the board, a flash clock for your Cougars here. They find themselves in a hole, 7-6. And a good football game early on. 2 quick drives for both teams. In the first quarter, Florence stood up on a 4th down attempt. The incomplete pass turned the ball over to the Cougars at their own 41. They've driven down to the 13-yard line of Florence. We'll flip the field. Now Jarrell will be going to left to right on your radio dial, north to south. As we get set, the meeting out on the field of the umpires, settling the ball down. It'll be at the 13-yard line, 2nd and 10. One penalty. It was 1st and 10 at the 13. There was a holding. Brought us back to 1st and 20. Great job by Edgar there. He scrambled for 10 yards and brought it back to a 10-yard to the 13-yard line. So now we have it 2nd and 10 on the 13. Edgar in the shotgun. Warren to his left. He's going to hand it to Warren around the right side, following a blocker. He's going to get outside the numbers down to the 10 and tripped up to the 9-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 6 for the Cougars on the 9-yard line of Florence. Tell you what, Warren doing a great job of just following his blockers. He does a little dancing. He waits for his holes to develop, and he did a great job there. Big old lineman pulling from the left side. Right in front of him, let him up, and just gets tripped up at the last minute at the 9-yard line. 3rd and 6 for the Cougars. Edgar hands it in the middle. No, he keeps it up the middle, and a touchdown, Jarrell Cougars! What a great job by Edgar there. He puts the ball all the way in the belly of Warren, pulls it out, and scrambles right up the middle for a 9-yard touchdown run with 11:22 left in the second quarter. What a great job there by Edgar. Great decision to pull the ball. The middle opens up, and it's another Cougar touchdown. 12-7's our score. Cougars going to go for 2 again here and try to bring it to a 7-point lead. Edgar back. Now he hands it to Warren. Belly up the middle, and he's going to be brought down about the 2-yard line, and the 2-point conversion is no good. So there we sit, 11:22 left in the first half. Jarrell Cougars take the lead 12-7 over the Florence Buffaloes. A great job by Edgar, the quarterback there. And Warren, what a great series there. They stop the Buffaloes on 4th down, drive all the way down, punch it in, and take the lead. We'll take a quick timeout. Be back here in Jarrell, Texas with more Cougar football on SHN Sports. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football. I'm Wally Harmon here in Jarrell, Texas, home of the Jarrell Cougars, where they've got their first lead of the year in their second ball game, their first home game, 12-7 lead here on the Florence Buffaloes. And a great first quarter and start to the second quarter for your Cougars. A great defensive stand to hold the Florence Buffaloes on their second drive, and then drive down and punch it in. Edgar on the 9-yard run, and the Cougars take the lead. Now they'll be kicking off left to right on your radio dial from the north to the south. Tees the ball up. The kick is up and short. It'll be fielded. Now he lets it bounce, and now it's fielded. Now he bobbles it, and it's going to go out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Florence got lucky there. The Cougars were closing in. That live ball was scrambling around, and lucky for the Buffaloes, it gets knocked out of bounds. And so Florence will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 31. 11:19 to go in the first half. Buffaloes will get set back up. Looks like Grimm's back on the field for this possession at tailback. Tamplin back at quarterback. And so the Cougars back on defense again for the third time tonight. Florence with their third possession of the ball game. So far they've started on their own 33, their own 37, and now their own 31. The up back kind of let the ball go. It bounces to the back receiver who had charged up, and he played off the bounce and bobbled it, and lucky for the Buffaloes, it gets out of bounds. So they start 1st and 10 from the 31. Tamplin in the shotgun now. He'll go to the left. He's going to pitch it to Grimm. Grimm past the 30 to the 35, 40, 45, up the hash marks. Ridden down on the other side, the Jarrell side of the 50 to the 49-yard line. And what a quick scamper there. Grimm back in it quickly, hitting the gaps. Nice play there. Tamplin takes a shotgun snap, takes about 2 steps to his left, and pitches quickly to Grimm as he was about to take a shot. And that turned out to be pretty beneficial, as now he gets a 20-yard gain down to the 49-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Buffaloes. 10 minutes, 55 seconds left in the first half. Tamplin in the shotgun. Two receivers to your left, none to the right. The running back's offset to the right. And now Tamplin to go to the right. He pitches it, takes a shot by Copeland, but gets it to Grimm. Grimm down past the 40. Carrying a tackler down to the 31-yard line. I tell you what, Grimm is running hard. What an impressive young man. Every time he touches the ball, he is going forward, and he's going forward fast. He gets outside the numbers, but another first down for the Florence Buffaloes, all the way down to the 31-yard line of Jarrell. 10 minutes, 30 seconds left in the half. Tamplin got the shotgun snap, quickly turned and pitched it, and Jake Copeland laid Tamplin out on his back. A great job there by Copeland to penetrate and put a lick on the quarterback. All legal within the 2 steps, but Tamplin getting a little gun shy there on keeping the ball too long. He'll take the snap, hand it inside to Grimm. Grimm across to the right side, outside the hash marks to the numbers, and he's ridden down at the 25-yard line. A gain of 6 for the Florence Buffaloes, and that'll bring up that'll bring up 2nd and 4 for the Buffaloes at the 25 of Jarrell. Grimm just quick. As soon as he touches that ball, he is getting a burst and getting hard to catch. Buffalo's turn. Waiting for the signals. 20 seconds on the play clock. 9:41 and counting on the game clock. Tamplin in the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 2 backs to his left. He'll come back to the left, and now he's going to pitch again, and it's batted out of the air, and the Cougars are trying to pick it up. The ball's bouncing, and they get it. Yes, Jarrell Cougars did a great job. What a play by the defensive end. He cracks through. I think it's Torres. The Grimm went to pitch the ball, Tamplin. I'm going to have to back up. Tamplin getting a little gun shy from being hit so many times. Copeland laying him out. He pitches quickly, and the defense gets through the gap, puts a hand up, knocks the pitch down, and the chase was on. The Cougars recover the ball at their own 45-yard line. Another defensive stand, a great play, and the Cougars are back in business. 9:27 left in the first half. 1st and 10 for your Cougars on their own 45-yard line. Edgar in the shotgun. To his right is Torres, or Warren, pardon. Edgar out to the side. He's going to throw it on the run just to avoid a sack. And it's out of bounds, incomplete, but Edgar stays down for a minute. He got blasted as he was running. Don't think he saw the guys behind him, and he took a shot as he unloaded it. He gets up slowly, kind of limping back towards the backfield. And it looks like Edgar's going to come out. Going to have to figure out who we've got now back at quarterback. Back in the shotgun. Cougars 2nd and 10. Shotgun snap. Handoff. Fakes it. Oh, the fumble. Jarrell fumbles the ball. The linemen's jump on it. Let's see the battle. There's a scrum at the 45-yard line. Who has it? Now the referees pile on trying to figure out where the ball is. And it looks like Jarrell's going to recover. It'll be 3rd and 10 from their own 45. The quarterback takes off on the run, and all of a sudden the ball just squirts out. Luckily, the offensive linemen see it, jump on it, and recover it. No yards gained and no yards lost. Good job there by the linemen to save that series here. 3rd and 10 now from their 45. Shotgun snap. About a 4-yard drop. He's going to have to scramble, being pressured. Several linemen coming at him. He's scrambling now back to the right, outside the hash marks to the 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 32, spins down to the 30 and stacked up at the 29-yard line. What a scramble for a big first down for the Cougars. What a great play. I believe it's Rodriguez back in now at quarterback. Heron Rodriguez back in at quarterback, and what a play. He dropped back to the 40. Scrambles back around near the 35, comes all the way across to the near side, outside the hash marks, and then just lets the footwork go and gets it all the way down to the 29-yard line. And now a flag has come in. So we'll have to see what happens. We'll stop it here. 8 minutes, 19 seconds left in the first half. It was a 3rd and 10 play. The Cougars get all the way down to the 29-yard line by a great scramble by Rodriguez to avoid a sack and turns it into a huge gain, but a flag comes in on the far sideline. And I haven't seen the call, but it is evidently not good. The sideline judge here talking to Coach Davidson, he is clearly not happy. Personal foul on the Cougars, so we're trying to figure out what's going on if it's in the middle of the run. Evidently, it happened during the run. So it's going to come back, and now it's going to be spotted at the 44-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd and 11. So it's a play during the play, and it offset. And so it comes back, 3rd and 11. Rodriguez takes a shotgun stab, scrambles deep. He's running a screen, gets it outside. It looks like to Torres. Torres cuts up 50, 45, 40. It is Warren, cuts it into the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. He's ridden down at the 5-yard line. Great job by Warren. He takes the screen pass and breaks it open for the Cougars all the way down to the 5-yard line. What a play there. Coach Davidson drew it up well as Rodriguez kept backpedaling, and the defensive line fell. And, boy, they charged after him, and Warren was wide open. Huge play there to overturn the penalty. That brings up a 1st down and 6 for your Cougars at their own 6-yard line. 1st and goal, 7:45 left in the first half. Rodriguez in the shotgun. Warren to his left. Quick pass out to the right to 21. Crothers, he's going to take it down to about the 3 and be knocked out of bounds. Let's see where they spot him. They're going to give him the 2. Crothers makes the quick catch there out by Rodriguez to the 2-yard line. That's going to bring up a 2nd and goal for your Cougars. 7:37 left in the first half. 12-7, your Cougars lead it over the Buffaloes. Rodriguez back in the shotgun. Warren to his left. 2 receivers stacked on the right. Quick handoff to Warren up the middle. He's going to charge. He hits a runner, and he's bottled up at the 1. Are they going to stop him? They're going to mark him down about the half-yard line. Looked like he rode on top of the defensive man, kind of fell on top of him and rolled over, but they blow him dead. And that'll bring up 3rd and goal now. 7 minutes, 18 seconds, and counting on the game clock left in the first half. Cougars have the ball, 3rd and goal at their own 1. Rodriguez back in the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Warren to the right. Puts it in the belly of Warren, right up the middle, and touchdown, Jarrell Cougars. 7 minutes left in the first half, and it's another touchdown for your Jarrell Cougars. Warren on the 1-yard touchdown run right up the middle. Great play there. And Warren scores again for your Cougars. 18-7 is the score. 6:58 left in the first half. And the Cougars will now go again. I'm going with the kicker. Jesus Perez is hurt because our kickoffs have been by someone different. I can't get their number, but we're going for 2 every time. Rodriguez takes a snap back, pulls it back out of the belly of the running back, and runs it in himself for the 2-point conversion. And it is good. Your Cougars now take a 13-point lead, 20-7 over the Florence Buffaloes with 6:59 left in the first half. We'll take a quick timeout. Be back here on SHN Sports with more Jarrell Cougar football after this. Welcome back to Jarrell, Texas, for more Jarrell Cougar football here on SHN Sports. I'm Wally Harmon, live from the Cougar Field in Jarrell. The Cougars lead the ballgame 20-7 over the Florence Buffaloes. 6:59 left in the first half. What a performance by the defense. What a performance by the offense. The Cougars are clicking and just playing good football here tonight. And the kick is off. It's going to bounce about the 30, I felt about the 27. Out to the right side. It's going to be Woljabak, and he's going to get out to about the 40. Trying to see where they're spotting him on the far side of the field. He got there and got stacked up out of bounds. Woljabak, good little scamper to the, it's going to be the 38-yard line of Florence. So that's where they'll start with 6:54 left in the first half. Tamplin at quarterback. Grimm will be the tailback. Looks like number 4, Armando Garcia, will now be in the backfield with Grimm and Tamplin. Buffaloes line up 1st and 10 on the 38-yard line. Tamplin back under center this series. And now a timeout called by the Florence Buffaloes. 6:54 left in the first half. 20-7, the Jarrell Cougars lead the Florence Buffalo here in the second quarter. That's brought to you by Rob Hip Insurance. What a great performance tonight. The Cougars, I tell you what, after a big battle last week against a great Whitney Wildcat football team, these Cougars have come back like nothing happened. They dropped it, they shook it off, and they're back. They're playing hard. The defense is scrambling, playing hard, stacking them up, making hits, causing fumbles. That great play to end that last drive, they batted the ball down and recovered the fumble. They're just a hustle all over the field. Then they hand it to their offense. Warren, Rodriguez, Edgar, everyone just taking their chances left and right and making the most of their opportunities. and we lead it by 13, 20-7. The Cougars lead the Buffaloes. 6:54 left in the first half. The Buffaloes have the ball on their own 38, 1st and 10. And now Tamplin will be back under center. He'll spin to the right. He'll hand it off. Nope, he'll keep it. And he'll advance it to about the 41-yard line. A 3-yard gain there by Tamplin. I tell you what, Tamplin turns quickly out of that snap when he's under center. Fakes a handoff, moves it, pitches, and then sometimes just keeps it and scrambles. And that time he did for a 3-yard gain up to the 41-yard line. 2nd and 7 for the Buffaloes. 6 minutes, 30 seconds left on the first half game clock. Armando Garcia in the fullback position in the I formation. Grimm lines up behind him about 7 yards deep. Tamplin turns, hands it to Grimm right up the middle, and he gets tackled quickly there by the Cougars. Dropped him at the 44-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd down for the Buffaloes. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and 4. 6 minutes on the clock. Clock ticking down here in the second quarter. 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 for the Buffaloes on their own 44-yard line. Tamplin now will back up in the shotgun. Maldonado to his right. He takes a snap. Ball's to the ground, but the whistle blown. And it's going to be another timeout by the Buffaloes. Coach Bridges calls a timeout, and kind of lucky he called it when he did. That snap, it didn't look like Tampa was ready. Hit off his hand, but it was blown dead. So we'll take a break here. 5:46 now. The players huddle up on their respective sidelines. Coach Amos Davidson huddling up the Cougars. I tell you what, the Cougars are on fire. Playing a great game tonight. They lead it 20-7 over the Florence Buffaloes here with 5:46 left in the second quarter. Jarrell Cougar football brought to you in part by Our Bank of Jarrell. When you do business with our bank, our community bankers will take the time to listen to your financial needs and desires in order to help you create unique solutions that will allow you to achieve these goals. We have solutions for your personal and business needs, or a combination of the two. Visit ourbanktexas.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender. 5:46 left in the second quarter. 20-7, the Jarrell Cougars lead the Florence Buffaloes here in Jarrell, Texas, home of the Cougars. Florence with a 3rd and 4 at their own 44-yard line. Snap back to Tamplin. He hands to Grimm across the right side to the hash marks, and he drives forward. It looks like he's going to be stacked up right at the yard to gain, the 48-yard line. And they're going to give him the spot. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Florence Buffaloes. 5:38 and counting on the clock here in the second quarter. Grimm with another nice run there to get the first down for the Florence Buffaloes and keeps the drive alive. They're not in a hurry-up offense with 5:25 on the clock. They take their time getting the call from Coach Bridges on the sideline and his staff. Tamplin looks back, and now he'll go back under center. One wide receiver left. Now a split on the left, one right. I formation. C.J. Sill back in. Tamplin turns, runs it up the middle, and he's going to be tackled about the 30, making the 44-yard line of Jarrell. About a 7 or 8 yard gain for the Buffaloes. Tamplin, a great gain. Great run there to the 44. So it's going to be 2nd and 2 for the Buffaloes. I tell you what, not many passes. One pass early in the first drive to keep the drive alive on their 4th down attempt. They convert and end up scoring on the 2-yard run by Grimm. Their second pass was on the second 4th down attempt that went off the hands of LaBounty for an incomplete and a turnover on downs. Here they go. 2nd and 2. Tamplin to the right, and he's kind of going to shovel it away as he got hit into the arms of Grimm. Grimm battles to the right outside the numbers and finally taken down about the 37-yard line of Jarrell. And it'll be another 1st and 10 for the Florence Buffaloes. 4:27 on the clock, blown dead while they set the chains. And the umpire winds the clock back up. 4 minutes, 22 seconds and counting on the clock here in the first half remaining for Florence. They've got the ball, driving, started the possession on their own 38, down to the 37-yard line of Jarrell, where they find themselves with a 1st and 10. Tamplin is going to go back under center. C.J. Sill, the fullback. Grimm, the tailback. 2 receivers left, 1 right. He'll turn around, hand it to Grimm right up the middle. Now he breaks it to the left side. Now he's ridden, tries to break a tackle, and that's not going to happen. Great job there by Crathers, number 21, Crathers of the Cougars. He put his arms around Grimm, and Grimm was going nowhere. Just about looks like about a 4 or 5 yard gain. but Grimm stopped in his tracks. It looked like he thought he was going to get another 5 or 10 to go. So it'll be 2nd and 5 from the 32. Florence has the ball still driving. 3:30 left in the second quarter. The Buffaloes look over to the right. This time they're going to have 2 receivers left. None right. I formation. Tamplin goes up under center. C.J. Sill, Grimm behind him in the I formation. Should have been a false start, and it is. Great call by the back umpire there. C.J. Sill started to go to his right a little too early. That's going to be a false start on the Florence Buffaloes, and that's going to make it back to 2nd and 10. Costly penalty there as the Buffaloes just kept going forward, moving the ball here, 5 and 10 yards at a pop. And then a costly penalty there by C.J. Sill to set them back. 2nd and 10 now. 3 minutes, 14 seconds to go in the second quarter. And they'll wind the clock back up as the Buffaloes look to the right, try to get their play. And they are taking their time. 18 minutes on the down clock. Now Tamplin will get back under center. Got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, I formation. Tamplin back. He fakes it. He'll drop back to pass back to the 45, 46, being chased. He'll throw it up and out of bounds to save himself from the sack. 2 Cougars forcing him back, and he backpedaled to about the 50-yard line and dumped it out of bounds for an incompletion. Great play by the defensive line of the Cougars, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 at the 37 of Jarrell. Florence now, clock stop, 2 minutes, 47 seconds. Only got 1 timeout left here in the quarter. Jarrell has yet to use a timeout, so if they get the ball back, they're going to have an opportunity to take some time, use their timeouts, and try to get some more points here if they can get the ball back from the Buffaloes. Tamplin's got 2 receivers left, 1 right, I formation, under center. Tamplin will take the snap. He's going to spin to his left, and now he's going to run the ball right up the middle, cracks back towards the middle of the field, and he gets popped and dropped at about the 29-yard line. Got to be 2 yards short of a first down. That'll bring up 4th and 2 for the Florence Buffaloes, and they've not been shy about it. They'll go for 4th down every time. So far tonight, this will make their 3rd attempt. They've only made it 1 time. So far, they're 50%, 1 for 2 on 4th down. We'll see what they do here as they go for it with 2:19 on the clock. 4th and 2 from the 29-yard line of Jarrell. Tamplin gets the call. 1 wide receiver to each side, left and right. And Coach Amos Davidson's going to burn the first time out here with 2:09 left in the quarter. He'll take a timeout for the Cougars and get the Jarrell Cougars set up. Make sure this is a big play here. Big play. As you got the Buffaloes at 4th and 2 on their Jarrell 29. You get a stop here. You get the momentum. You got about 2 minutes left in the half, and you got 2 timeouts now. So a good call here by Coach Amos Davidson. Collect himself, collect the players, get them back into the zone, and try to stop Tamplin and his Buffalo offense here. Rob Hip Inchurch brings us the second quarter here tonight in Jarrell, Texas, of Jarrell Cougar football. What a beautiful night and a beautiful game to this point. 2 minutes, 9 seconds left. The Jarrell Cougars 20, the Florence Buffaloes 7. Warren has run and run well tonight for the Cougars. Edgar started off, it looked like, at quarterback. Rodriguez has come in after after Edgar got hurt, and Rodriguez has stepped in and done his job running this offense again. And what a job by this defense. This Cougar defense, the first drive was a long 67-yard drive. They fought, but a 2-yard touchdown run by Grimm got the Buffaloes on the board, and that's all they've seen. Two other possessions, one ending in a 4th down on turnover on downs, and the other a fumble created by the Cougar defense. And now we're back on the field. Here we go. Florence Buffaloes with the ball at the 29-yard line of Jarrell. 4th and 2. Tamplin in the shotgun. 2 receivers right. He'll snap, and he runs it forward, and he breaks through the line up to the 15-10, and he's going to be ridden down about the 7-yard line of Jarrell. What a play by Tamplin, the quarterback. He took it quickly off to the right, up the hash marks, and gets a nice run. And it'll be a 1st and goal for the Florence Buffaloes. It looks like he's going to be marked down at the 8-yard line. So 1st and goal from the 8 for the Florence Buffaloes. 1 minute, 50 seconds and counting on the clock left in the first half. Tamplin will be back in the shotgun. Sill and Grimm stacked up to his right. 2 receivers left. He'll hand it quickly to Grimm. Grimm up the middle. He fights through a couple of tackles, gets thrown down. But it's going to be a touchdown as he rolls over on top of the defensive player as he threw him to the ground into the end zone. And that'll be a touchdown. 1 minute, 34 seconds left in the first half, and Florence drives down from their own 38 and scores on the 8-yard run by Grimm to cut the lead to 7, 20-13 for the Cougars. Florence comes back into play here. 1 minute, 34 seconds left in the half, so the Cougars will have a chance. Florence will go for the 1 point, the extra point try. The kicker, Angel Perez, back. Snap low, but it's up. Kick is up in the air through the uprights, and good. So Jarrell now has their lead cut to 6, 20-14, as the Buffaloes push it into the end zone here at the end of the first half. And now the Cougars get a shot, 1 minute, 34 seconds, to try to make something happen. It makes you think that the field goal is out of possibilities with Perez out and the kicking duties being handled by a different player. And so we'll see what this pushes the Cougars to do. Do they open up the passing game? Do they change it up? Do they utilize Warren? So many things to see what they're going to do here now. Coach Amos Davidson has them huddled up about the 35, 40-yard line, setting up the kick return for the Cougars. As they take the field, Coach Bridges across the field on the far side, huddled up on their own 40 as they prepare for their kickoff. Rob Hip Insurance bringing the second quarter to us here on SHN Sports tonight in Jarrell, Texas for the season, the home opener for the Jarrell Cougars. 1 minute, 34 seconds left in the second quarter, 20-14. Jarrell leads the Florence Buffaloes. And what a battle back and forth in this ball game. And so here we go. Florence will kick the ball off back to the Cougars. And we'll see what the Cougars can do with the last minute and a half. Angel Perez will set up on the far hash mark on the 40-yard line of Florence. He'll tee up the ball and back up to his 45. Set himself as the Cougars prepare on the north end of the field. 3 men deep for the Cougars. Perez takes his long strides back, just 5 yards. And 2 off to the side. Perez looks and gets cleared by the referee. And here we go. The kick is up and in the air. Short, high, end over end kick taken by the middleman at the 18-yard line. He'll run up past the 25 to the 30. Breaks it to the sideline, now back inside and bottled up about the 35-yard line. Flag comes flying in from the far line judge. They blow it dead at 1:25 left in the half. That's where Jarrell will have a minute and 25 left to try to push it across the goal line. Looks like the penalty is going to be called on Jarrell. It's going to be a hold on the Cougars, and that'll back them up. See where they called it from. It'll be a spot foul, holding from the spot of the foul. Now Coach Bridges for the Florence Buffaloes is talking to the head referee on the far side. Looks like they're going to spot it from the 30 and walk it off 10 yards. So the Cougars will have 80 yards to go with 1 minute, 25 seconds left in the first half. Their worst starting field position of the night and of the season. Last week against Whitney, most of their possessions started between their own 30 and 50-yard line, the midfield. A lot of them starting about the 40 or 45. Tonight, after this penalty, it's now brought back. They'll start from their 20. Rodriguez in the shotgun snap. Looks like Warren's to his left. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Shotgun snap back. Quick pass out to the right. He's caught it about the 20, breaks it to the 25, 26, 27, breaks a tackle. Nice spin there. And he keeps on churning. Pushes up past the 30 to the 31, and that's going to be a first down. I believe it's Crathers, number 21. Hard to see up here, the far down on the field with the glare. But it's going to be a first and 10, minute 10 and counting for the Cougars from their own 31-yard line. Rodriguez back. He sets up to pass, and he's going to scramble off to his left side. He's got some running room around the 30, 35. Jukes a man, spins, and down to the 39-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 8. That'll bring up second and 2 for the Cougars, but Coach Davidson's going to take a quick timeout here. 54 seconds left in the half. 2nd and 2 for the Cougars at their 41-yard line. It looks like, let's see where they're spotted, 39-yard line. They got to get to the 41 for a first down. So it'll be 2nd and 2 after the timeout. Eagle Auto Parts of Jarrell, WBE Vehicle Electronics, offering a portfolio of high-quality aftermarket vehicle electronics, including connectors, relays, solenoids, switches, emission, and ignition electronics. Building upon a foundation of premium full-line programs established under the NGK Spark Plug and NTK sensor brands, WVE products are rigorously tested and engineered to perform in import and domestic vehicles. For your vehicle electronic needs, choose WVE Vehicle Electronics, precision engineered to perform. Found at your hometown Eagle Auto Parts store in Jarrell, Texas. And we thank you for your sponsorship of Jarrell Cougar football. Here we are tonight, September the 6th, 2019 in Jarrell, Texas. And your Jarrell Cougars lead it 20-14 over the Florence Buffaloes with 54 seconds left in the first half. 2nd and 2 from the 39-yard line. Rodriguez gets the shotgun snap. 2-3-step drop. He's going to throw deep. He's got a receiver open. He leads him. What a catch by the Cougars! All the way down to the 23-yard line of Florence. Beautiful pass by Rodriguez. Leads the receiver right over the outstretched hands of the defensive back and to no avail. Beautiful catch by the receiver. Couldn't even see who it was. Man, I think it had to be. We'll have to find out who that was. Great play. 1st and 10 for the Cougars at the 23-yard line of Florence. Rodriguez gets the ball back. He's going to drop back to pass. Fakes the pass. Draws it back in. Now he scrambles outside the numbers to the sideline. Throws it back across his body. And it's dropped, knocked down at the 9-yard line. And a penalty comes in late after the ball had been knocked down. A great play by the defensive back. The receiver goes to catch it. He gets immediately popped. The ball is incomplete. Great play. And then a flag comes in from the near sideline judge. Looks like it's going to be on the Florence Buffaloes. Going to be a costly penalty if it is. It looked like a dead ball, a personal foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Buffaloes, and that it is. And that will be costly. They had a 2nd and 10 from their own 23. Cougars still had 23 yards to go with only 28 seconds, and that's going to give them a nice first down. That's a big mistake, a costly mistake. We'll put that star on the board here and try to remember that one. 28 seconds left in the half. There's a 15-yard personal foul down at the 9-yard line of Florence, and that is costly. That gives the Cougars a 1st and 10 from their own 11. 28 seconds left. They still have one timeout to work with. Rodriguez back in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. One running back off to his right side. Rodriguez steps back 2 to 3 yards, fires to the end zone. It's behind the receiver. He planted and fell down. An incomplete pass. That'll take about 5 ticks off the clock. Bring it down to 23 seconds left here in the first half. 2nd and 10 now for the Cougars from the 11. Not a bad idea. The receiver would have had to gone back. There's no way for the defensive back to get that ball. Unfortunately, he fell down, couldn't make a play on it. So it's incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 11 for the Cougars. 23 seconds left in the first half. Rodriguez with a running back to his right. 2 receivers right, 1 left. He'll drop back to the 20-21. Now he'll scramble to the right. Thinks about tucking it. Now he'll throw to the end zone. Back in, but and to a pack of Buffaloes there. Three defensive backs all around the receiver. The ball falls incomplete. So a big incompletion there. Not a turnover, and gives them another shot. 15 seconds left here in the half. 20-14. The Cougars lead the Buffaloes. 3rd down and 10 from the 11. Rodriguez may have got some yardage there if he tucked it, but the fear of getting tackled in bounds, now you have to burn that last time out. So good play there. Luckily, it wasn't intercepted, so we got another shot. 3rd and 10. Rodriguez back. He's got 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Running back to his right. Offset in the snap. And last second, Coach Bridges of the Buffaloes will take a timeout. And that's his 3rd and final timeout of the half. And that'll bring us to the 14. It says 14 seconds. They should put a second back on the clock. No time should have come off. It was 15 seconds remaining. And Coach Bridges took the timeout right before the snap. So no time should have come off. We'll see if they reset that. But nonetheless, it'll be 3rd and 10 from the 11-yard line for your Jarrell Cougars. Started this drive on the 20. They're all the way down to the 11. In between the 11 and 12-yard line. They're giving them the 11. They've got to get to the 2-yard line. Maybe it's the 12. Man, that's a tough spot from here. Scoreboard says the 11-yard line. Looks like they're spotted up at the 12. So 3rd and 10 from the 12-yard line. Got to get to the 2 for the first. But you need those 12 yards here with only 14 seconds left. 1 timeout. But you have 2 shots here at the end zone. with 14 seconds. So plenty of time. If it doesn't catch it in the end zone, they got to get out of bounds or get down and get that timeout called to have one more opportunity. Rodriguez back in the shotgun with a running back off to his left. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. The line comes set. The whistle's blown. Rodriguez makes the call to snap back. Rodriguez steps back. Now he's going to take it up the middle. He's going to scramble to the 10, and he's taken down at the 9-yard line. And quickly, Coach Davidson takes the timeout. 8 seconds left in the quarter, in the half, and that'll bring up a fourth and 7. 3-yard gain there from the 12 down to the 9 for Rodriguez. So a big 4th down coming here. Big play now. 4th and 9. See that now we're trying to get updated. I apologize. They spotted the ball at the 9-yard line. 4th and 7 from the 9. A first down really doesn't do any good because you can't stop the clock. You have 8 seconds left. So we're going to imagine the scenario as Coach Davidson drawing something up to get the Jaguars in the end zone on the last play of the quarter and the first half. Great first half of football. The Buffaloes scored on their first possession. Turnover on downs on their second. A fumble recovered by the Jaguars on the third. And then they scored again on their 4th possession to give them 14 points with 2 extra point conversions by their kicker, Angel Perez. Your Cougars scored so far on all 3 possessions of the first half. We're one to make it a 4th right here. So here we go. Let's set it up. 4th down, 7 to go from the 9-yard line. Jarrell Cougars, 1 shot with 8 seconds left here in the first half. Rodriguez takes a snap back. Quick, lobs it up, far corner of the end zone. The receiver stops the route. And Rodriguez threw it to the back corner for kind of get a jump ball. But the receiver cut the route off short at the goal line. And it goes incomplete. So with 4 seconds left in the half, the ball will be turned over on 4th down. On a turnover on down. So the Florence Buffaloes will take over on the 9-yard line of Jarrell with 4 seconds. Tamplin looks over to the sideline. Don't know if they're going to try to run the ball. Jarrell's going to stick a couple of defensive backs deep about the 25-yard line. Tamplin under center. He's got an I formation behind him. He'll hand off to Seal right up the middle. Seal will run forward for about 3 yards to about the 11 or 12-yard line. And that'll bring us to the end of the first half. 20-14, your Jarrell Cougars lead it here on this Friday night football ball game. What a great job. Great first half of football by the Cougars. Come home, wipe off last week's memories, and just go at it, and did a great job. Come up short there on the 4th and 9 play. But a great first half of football for your Cougars here at home. So we'll take it to the halftime break. Our halftime will be sponsored by Oak Ridge Disciple Ministries. Let me get this right. Oak Ridge Disciple House. Josh Harris and the Oak Ridge Disciple House, big sponsors of SHN Sports and Jarrell Cougar football. We're going to send it to the halftime show back to the studios at SHN Sports here in just a minute on SHN.
Player of the game last week and ended up getting convinced that Jackson Colson should have gotten the award. But I think Ross is a little. I think Ross somehow found out about that, and he's trying to make a statement to get that award this week.
Well, he made a handful of pass breakups last week, and he's showing the same flash on defense this week.
On 2nd and 10. Ball is handed off, and the Cougars make a great rush and pick up a first down. Their first down in quite some time. Savion Jarrett is the back that was on the carry there.
bewildered. But Westlake really running the football a lot tonight, as they're ahead 21-7 against Cypress Ranch. You have Rouse and Anderson at the half, 13-7 for Rouse. Cedar Park looking to avenge their loss of last week as they fell to Vandergrift. They are currently ahead of Cedar Ridge, 17-7 at the half. Brenham has so far blanked Waller, 24-0 at half. You have a very tight game here between Canyon Lake and Wise. It is 7-6 at halftime. The Knights of McCallum looking to bounce back after their Taco Shack Bowl loss. Currently, they're ahead of the Lehman Lobos 14-0. So you got to be feeling good about that, Steven.
Yeah, I know they had I was there throughout this week too, and they were having a tough week. Even it affects the whole school when a team loses.
It's true.
A rivalry game like McCallum lost last week against Anderson, and the hallways are a little more dead, even if no one, not everyone was a part of the football team, but it affects the feel of it, and so.
Well, let's see. They're working out those first week jitters, and currently they have the lead at halftime. Talking about the other two games at the half. LBJ traveling against Los Fresnos from the RGV. That game still very close, 6-3. Haven't even have a full touchdown just yet. It looks like we've had nothing but field goals in that contest. And then nobody has been able to score between Gonzalez and Crockett. Games that are going into halftime that are still taking place right now. Lake Travis trying to get back to the right side of the win column as they dropped their first game of the opening season. Currently ahead, 20-12 against Mansfield Timberview. San Antonio Madison, they went into the second quarter down 13-0. They are now ahead 20-13 against Austin Bowie. So the Bulldogs coughing up the lead, so to speak. Westwood against Austin High as the Warriors currently lead the Maroons 14-7 as they start off the second quarter there. Del Valle trying to run the table and go 2-0 this year to start off their season as they lead 19-14 against Connolly. And Connolly dropping that game last week, which was close. This game also close as well for them. McNeil, the Mustangs ahead 28-7 against Glenn. Harker Heights being blanked right now as the Stony Point Tigers lead 14-0 in the start of the second. This game on SHN Sports, Georgetown currently ahead 12-0 against Waco High. I know we will check into that game a little bit later on here this evening. Another game on SHN Sports, and we knew it was going to be a good one, Steven, and right now it is looking pretty good. 14-14 between the Hippos and the Panthers of Liberty Hill. That one we talked about earlier, like, do these games really matter? And it's kind of like, well, depending on how it goes for your team, yes and no. But this one totally seems like it is one of those games where the winner has a heavy tone set for the rest of the year that can take them very far in the state playoffs. As we move on through the rest of the Grand Endeavor home scoreboard update, Marble Falls and Burnett. It looks more like a baseball score than a football score, Steven, as it's 9-5 as the Burnett Eagles currently lead over Marble Falls. Elgin against Brian Rudder, 14-7 for Elgin. Blanco and St. Michael's tied at 7 in the second quarter. Smithson Valley ahead of Hendrickson, 28-15 also in the second. Round Rock currently leads Belton 17-10. Smithsville, they have a 27-7 advantage over the former Lanier High School, which is currently now Navarro High School. They still remain the Vikings either way. New Bronzeville Canyon, we just checked back out of that game. Currently down to the Patriots of Eastview on SHN Sports, 28-7. New Bronzeville's the Unicorns lead the Seguin team as the Tigers are behind 17-13. Comfort and Hyde Park 21-6 in favor of Comfort. Fort Worth All Saint going against Austin Regent 16-9 for the team from the DFW. Hayes and Dripping Springs still tied at 0-0. And then you have Manor looking to bounce back after their loss to Weslaco East last Saturday. They are currently ahead of Copris Cove 13-7. And here at SHN Sports, Stephen, we have a lot of love for the Georgetown community. That's where the Georgetown Jewelry SHN Football Friday studio is located, and we happen to have a lot of great talent in the area, and we've been fortunate to see some of that talent on Saturdays, as opposed to just under the lights on Friday nights.
Yeah, and a common familiar name around this area as we come to you live from Georgetown. Former Eagle from just a few years ago, Bo Corrales, getting some playing time over the weekend for North Carolina.
Oh, look at that!
Ended up actually catching the game-winning touchdown, just a really nice throw to the corner of the end zone here from North Carolina, and Bo just in the right spot, going up at the right moment, as he did so many times here for Georgetown, obviously. And I mean, we knew what he was capable of. We saw this all the time for Georgetown, and it's just awesome, as you said, being able to see him do it on Saturdays, and just make such a difference. I mean, this was the game winner.
Yeah, I mean, he had a rough go last year, having to battle through some injury, but we saw him make plays like this many times wearing the Eagles uniform. But to do this in front of so many on the opening day of the college football season for his squad, with Mac Brown, the new head coach over at North Carolina, I mean, look at the adjustment he has to make just to bring this ball down. I mean, you can go through the drills as many times as you would like, but I don't think you could just teach that. That has a lot of natural feel to making a play that's spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people saw that video go around of Mac Brown dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Getting down in the locker room afterwards, and then, I mean, now we know a big part of that, reason for that is because Bojangles coming down with the catch, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's a clutch catch. He put his team ahead, and in their game against South Carolina, as they had that little border war, if you will. But, man, what a catch. I mean, that one was all over the highlights this past weekend, so we'll see what the former Georgetown Eagle can do this coming weekend. And we tend to stick around with just high school football here on this show, but we can't ignore the fact that there is a huge game about to take place just down the road off of I-35 in the state capitol tomorrow. I mean, the whole shebang is going to be there.
Oh man, you're telling me. I grew up here. I think you've lived here quite a while.
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited for, game day will be here from ESPN. I'm just so excited for a big game that means something, and people are excited for and ready to get behind.
There's something about a big game. I have friends calling me that I haven't spoken to in a while, and they're like, "Hey, you want to get together for the game?" It's like, I didn't think you guys watch football. We don't, but it's such a big game, we have to. I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, that's great. Well, then, yeah, I'm down to chill."
Right.
It's basically how it's gone so far. So, I'm expecting. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out for Texas, but it'll be interesting to see. Again, it's live. I keep on wanting to say live TV, but it's not necessarily live TV. It's like live. It's live streaming.
Yeah, it's a live stream. Yeah.
It's a live show, so yeah, you'll see us make adjustments to the equipment here sometimes, just to be comfortable, because we're going to be here a while. We'll be here until 12 a.m., so until Saturday, just to make sure that we have you all squared away with all your scores, your winners, your losers, and what to expect in the next coming week as well, and some of the bigger plays of the evening. And of course, we are also looking for your content. Please share with us. We would love to be able to put what you're sending over to us on the video board behind us and out to everybody else that is watching here this evening. All you have to do is tweet at us at SHN Sports using the hashtag SHN Football Friday and interact with us. And don't forget, we also have the call line as well, as Steven will be taking care of the voicemails, making sure that everything that you're saying is prim and proper, and that we can air it and share it with everybody else out there
making
in
the
streaming
catch
land.
out of bounds for Canyon. They're ruling that incomplete, but good grief,
No, yeah,
it
absolutely.
was.
And actually, speaking of, we're going to try to get ahead.
It was
a hold
Justin
of,
Nazer on making the pressure on Dallas Gomez.
We're gonna try to
Jordan
get a hold of
Oswald
our
on the
guy,
coverage.
Doppler Dave.
Somebody missed a block there
down
and is
at
going to
the,
get reamed in Canyon's film review tomorrow morning.
All right, if they don't
He's
get
on the
it
road.
hit
Over in
halftime here
Waco.
shortly,
Yeah, he's in Waco.
or
Yeah, they're
whenever
over
they
at
go
Waco.
back
We'll
to the
try to
sideline.
see. He's covering the Georgetown game.
There's a 3rd and
And again, we'll flip to that game, among others, on the SHN Family Networks. We have many
slowly. They look a little bit
throughout not
deflated,
just Central
Michael.
Texas,
Yeah,
but
they've
also in
looked
the
at this
DFW
entire
area
second
as
quarter.
well as East Texas. And it
Gomez
sounds
takes
like
the
we
snap,
have
drops
Doppler
back,
Dave.
throws over the middle. He's got a man open
Sounds
deep
like
and
he
makes
might
the
pick up,
catch.
but we know we have a
and
big catch being
is
made
able
over at
to
Eastview.
get past his defender and for the touchdown. That was Cowan.
Wow, on the call there, Travis Banks, Mike Francis doing a great job. Keeping everybody updated, one of the many games that you can find on the network. And don't forget, talking about the network, obviously you found us, but don't forget, hit the subscribe button and then go hit the little bell so you can be notified when this show and any other broadcast that we have for SHN Sports goes live.
And we should be hearing from Rob here. Rob, are you with us?
Hey, what's up, Steven? Can you guys hear me?
Hey, yeah, we can hear you loud and clear now. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. Georgetown leading here 20-0 at the half. We are at Waco University Stadium. Been a good game so far for the Eagles. They came out firing early. Tonight's one of those games where Georgetown really has to continue their momentum. They started out good against Abilene Wiley, and they're continuing that here in this one. So we'll see what the second half has.
Rob, the smash here. Let me ask you, who's been the big player for the Eagles offensively and defensively here this evening so far?
I mean, again, tonight we're seeing that dual-threat quarterback that we saw against Abilene Wiley, a combination of Jordan Oldorf and Darson Herman. Those two guys, I mean, Darson's only a sophomore, and so you look at the way that he runs, the way that he can handle the ball. Now, he does have some issues dropping balls out there when he's trying to line up to pass, but other than that, Darson, a big body, I think we're only going to see that young man continue to get better. You talk about Oldorf too. Oldorf doesn't really have much of the running ability, but he's got a lot of passing ability. We saw some big plays from him in this one as well early.
What do you think that Georgetown needs to do here tonight to kind of just make sure that they sustain and look to go 2-0 as to get ready for a second half? Any other adjustments that they can make?
I think they just keep playing the way that they're playing, honestly. They've got to limit penalties. We've seen a few of those here to start things. But other than that, Georgetown has been good. Their defense has looked really well. The defense has forced 2 turnovers. We saw that last week as they forced 5 of them. If you go back and look here in the first half for Georgetown, they picked up 14 first downs compared to only 5 for Waco. So you talk about a team in Georgetown that continues to move the ball, gets those first downs. That's where they've got to continue. Georgetown dropped the ball once. They've got 3 penalties for 15 yards. So really, let me go back and say the penalties tonight for Georgetown, it's really been in favor of Waco. They've got 7 for 70. Georgetown has only had to punt the ball once. They've rushed for 121 compared to 43 for Waco. Georgetown just really looking well here. Again, they've got to continue. Coach talked about it. He's happy with the defense is playing. One of his keys here as he went off into the second half and into halftime, he said Georgetown has got to continue to move the ball on offense. If we see that, we'll come out of here with a victory, which will set us up nicely for next week.
Again, we're on the line with the play-by-play man, Rob Hipp, over in Waco currently, covering the Georgetown Eagles tonight. You can capture that game live here on SHN Sports. Rob, let me just ask you one more thing, just in case people don't know. They should know you're a very busy man. So after tonight, when are you hitting on that plane? When are you getting on that car so you can get to where the Bearcats will
no plane. Luckily, no plane tonight. I'll head back to Georgetown. It's only about an hour and 5-minute drive here from South Waco back to North Georgetown, where I live. And then tomorrow morning, I'll be up bright and early, heading to Huntsville as the Bearcats take on Oklahoma Panhandle State University, where we will see, starting for Oklahoma, Tony Brown, who used to go to West Point, was that star quarterback at Jarrell many years ago. Stephen called those games, so it'll be a nice reunion for me to go down there and see Tony. But, of course, I bleed a different color of orange. I bleed Bearcat orange, and we're hoping for a Bearcat victory. And LSU, go get them. Go Saints.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Had to throw that in there. All right, well, we appreciate it, Rob. We'll let you get back to that second half, and I'm really looking forward to tuning in, and I want to see what Tony Brown can do against your Bearcats.
You got it, man. And, hey, stay on the line, Steven, on your personal number. I'm going to text you a credit card number so you guys can get some pizza tonight.
Hey, sounds great. We
Hey,
appreciate
man.
that, Rob.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys. Y'all are rocking it.
All right. Rob Hipp, once again, the voice of the Georgetown Eagles, also the voice of the Sam Houston Bearcats. On the call currently on SHN Sports at halftime, it's 20-0 Georgetown against Waco University or Waco High on the road at Waco, currently ahead in that contest. And like he said, if they can kind of just sustain what they're doing right now, they can easily see themselves at 2-0 as they kind of rumbled right through their competition at Abilene Wiley last week.
Yeah, and a potential shutout to take place tonight against Waco as they try to keep that going. Also, of course, Jarrell leading at halftime. I believe their audience is tuned in as well. As the Cougars, we just mentioned Tony Brown, former Jarrell quarterback there, about to take on the team that Rob Hipp now calls in college. They're in Huntsville, so Tony Brown coming back to Texas for that game will be awesome.
How cool is that, though?
It's all It's
had
great.
Those games here on SHN Sports.
Yeah.
You've seen this guy already. He's had great success, obviously. Division I FBS caliber, playing now in the FCS, but going against one of the better teams in the FCS, in Sam Houston, one of those teams that is used to getting to the national playoffs. So could he make the difference? I mean, from what you've seen?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, Tony Brown was an incredible just difference maker on the football field. And when he played for Jarrell, I mean, they went 10-0. They did lose their first round in the playoffs. But, I mean, the dude was making all the plays. And, that team back, looking back, the team was great. And they had great chemistry. And he was just like the focal point. He was their leader. He's just a dominant player on the football field with the skill set that he can bring. And I just look forward to what he's able to do in his second really start of the season for his new team. And he was the first guy to score at a 47-yard run scamper in the Week 1 loss that really kind of got their offense going initially in that game. And they were able to get within 7 before halftime and went on to lose in the second half. But, yeah, I mean, I think he's a guy who can be electric.
Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football. I'm Wally Harmon here in the booth in Jarrell, Texas, home of the Cougars. And what a first half of football. Halftime score, Jarrell Cougars 20, Florence Buffaloes 14. Got about 4 minutes, 50 seconds left on the halftime. Want to mention some sponsors. Halftime brought to you by Oak Ridge Disciple House. Josh Harris. And the great work he does there at the Oak Ridge Disciple House. What a blessing he is to SHN Sports. Just a great man of God, and we enjoy his relationship with SHN and his sponsorship and willingness to promote these young athletes, these high school athletes here in Central Texas. Want to bring a spotlight to our sponsors in part tonight. Jarrell Cougar football brought by Georgetown Jewelry. Proud supporter of Jarrell Cougar football. For all your jewelry needs, including weddings, visit Georgetown Jewelry online at georgetownjewelry.com or in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown. Thanks to Randy Poe of Georgetown Jewelry. YourPersonalMD.net strives to be the real family doctor and desires to use their skills to provide high-quality care in a setting that will provide satisfaction for both themselves and our patients. Visit YourPersonalMD.net. Go Cougars. Our Bank of Jarrell. When you do business with our bank, our community bankers will take the time to listen to your financial needs and desires in order to help you create unique solutions that will allow you to achieve these goals. We have solutions for your personal and business needs, or a combination of the two. Visit ourbanktexas.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Let's see if we can pick up the Jarrell Cougar band here as they bring back your Jarrell Cougars to the field. Jarrell Cougars take back to the field on their sideline, getting stretched out as the young Cougar Cubs pack of fans come running out. The little kids running on the sidelines, bringing in, slapping hands with the players. What a great sight there as they just involving all age groups here in Jarrell. Great to see, and the players standing out there giving high fives to these young kids as they run down the field. What a fun sight. And one more sponsor, Eagle Auto Parts of Jarrell, WVE Vehicle Electronics, offering a portfolio of high-quality aftermarket vehicle electronics, including connectors, relays, solenoids, switches, emission, and ignition electronics. Building upon a foundation of premium full-line programs established under the NGK Spark Plug and NTK sensor brands, WVE products are rigorously tested and engineered to perform in import and domestic vehicles. For your vehicle electronic needs, choose WVE Vehicle Electronics. Precision engineering to perform. Found at your hometown Eagle Auto Parts store in Jarrell, Texas. And as we go to the third quarter, the Jarrell Cougars should be receiving the ball. They'll be going north to south or left to right on your radio dial. And our third quarter will be sponsored by Your Personal MD. We thank them for their sponsorship of SHN Sports and Jarrell Cougar football. Just to recap the first half, both teams had 4 possessions. And what a battle, back and forth, but great defense by the Cougars tonight. The first drive, 67 yards by the Florence Buffaloes. A 2-yard run capped it off by Grimm, a 5-minute, 8-second possession. And the Cougars came right back on a 49-second possession, a 64-yard drive capped by a 75-yard run by Warren. He took the handoff after a 9-yard loss to start and just busted it open down the right side outside the numbers and took it all the way to the house to bring the score back to 7-6. And then the Buffaloes got the ball back, 22-yard drive, but it stalled out. They turned the ball over on downs after 2 minutes and 29 seconds. We're going to drop the last couple of minutes of the halftime show. We're going to go to the third quarter, sponsored by Your Personal MD. And the Buffaloes, Angel Perez, will be kicking the ball off. He kicks it short, bounces at the 25, taking it at the 20 on the far side. Outside the hash marks to the numbers. He breaks it open past the 40, 45, breaks a tackle to the 50, 45, 40, and taken down in Florence territory. Let's look like they'll spot him about the 38-yard line. 39-yard line. What a return by the Cougars to start the second half. And they'll be starting in the Florence territory. What a great return. Busted it outside the numbers from the far hashes and just broke one nice tackle about the 40, 45-yard line of Jarrell. Springs free and finally gets ridden down at the 38s where they're going to sponsor to Florence. And that's where the Cougars will start. 1st and 10 from the 38 of Florence. 11:52 on the clock will start this drive for your Cougars. Edgar looks to be possibly out for the game. Rodriguez back in at quarterback. He's in the shotgun. We got 2 receivers left, 1 right. He takes a snap, sticks it in the belly, pulls it out of Warren, and he comes around the end. Rodriguez runs up. That's the 30, breaks 2 tackles, now down to the 29. What a run by Rodriguez. First down territory there. Rodriguez did a great job. He's put it in the belly of Warren, snatches it out, runs around outside the hashes, breaks a couple of tackles, and gets the first down. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cougars at the 24-yard line of the Buffaloes. Rodriguez back. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Warren to his right. Quick pass out to the right. In and out of the hands of the receiver. Catch a number once he turns to us, but that'll be dropped about the 16-yard line. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Weston Miller unable to come up with the catch there. Brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Cougars. I keep wanting to combine the Jarrell and Cougars to make the Jaguars for some reason, and I apologize. It's the Jarrell Cougars. 2nd and 10 from the 24-yard line. Rodriguez back in the shotgun. One receiver right. He's going to get it on a sweep. Fakes the handoff. Back up the middle. Now past the 20 to the 19. Now ridden down at the 18. Almost a horse collar, but he let go. And so they'll ride Rodriguez down at the 18-yard line. Be a gain of 6. So it should be up 3rd and 4 for the Cougars at the 18 of Florence. Good run there. The sweep came across right in front of the face of Rodriguez. He fakes the handoff, cuts up the middle for a good 6-yard gain. 3rd and 4. Rodriguez back in the shotgun. Warren to his left, 1 right. Quick throw out to the right, caught about the 22. He'll break it up past the 15, down to the 10, ridden down at the 8-yard line. And another first down for your Jarrell Cougars. Nice catch there by Crathers. Did a great job. He caught it about the 22. Ends up running down to the 8-yard line for another first down. It'll be a 1st and goal for the Cougars. What a quick possession for the Cougars. A great return springs them into Florence territory to start the possession, and they continue the drive. First and goal at the 8-yard line for the Cougars. Rodriguez back, quick pass to the left, up and bobbled and gets hit by the quarterback, and an incomplete pass. Nice pass there. Just bobbled it long enough and got hit to knock it free and bring up second and down. Second and goal from the 8. 10 minutes, 21 seconds left in the third quarter. Your Jarrell Cougars lead the Florence Buffaloes 20-14. And they're knocking on the door here in the red zone early in the third quarter. They all look over at the coaches for the signs. Rodriguez back in the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Warren set off to his left side. Shotgun snap comes. Quick back. Quick hit to the 3-yard line. And the receivers stood up about the 2-yard line. And it's going to bring up a third and goal from the 2. Quick pass there by Rodriguez. Hits the receiver in stride. He stops and gets hit immediately. Does a great job of holding on to the ball. Rodriguez on that play. Ramon Rodriguez with the catch. They mark him down at the 3. So it'll be third and goal from the 3. Rodriguez gets a snap back, puts it in the belly of Warren. He'll drive up the middle, cut back to the left, and a touchdown! Jarrell Cougars! And they take no mercy here to start the third quarter. What a great job. A great kick return into Florence territory at the 38-yard line and punch it in quickly. 9 minutes, 46 seconds left in the quarter, and the Cougars are now up 12, 26-14. And it looks like they'll go for the 2-point conversion here. A 3-yard run by Warren for the touchdown. Puts them up by 12. Rodriguez snap back. He'll stick it in the belly, pull it out. Rodriguez up the middle, and Aaron Rodriguez gets the 2-point conversion, and that's going to push it to a 14-point lead for your Jarrell Cougars, 28-14 over the Florence Buffaloes here in the third quarter. And what a way to start the half for the Cougars. They pushed it down at the end of the first half. They're at the second quarter and just couldn't do it on the 4th down try with 4 seconds left. They come out, get the ball to start the second half, and they just stick it down the throat of the Buffaloes for the score. What a great job to start the half. Quickly scoring the touchdown and the 2-point conversion and a 14-point lead for the Cougars. Take a quick break. Be back. 9:46 left in the third quarter here in Jarrell, Texas on SHN Sports. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football. They get set to kick off. Jesus Perez, the kicker, back in for the second half. Deep kickoff taken at the 7-yard line on the run for the Buffaloes. Upside the far hash mark, cuts it into the middle, and he breaks a tackle up to the middle of the 40 and taken down at the 43-yard line. Oh, Florence, what a kick return from the 7, but we got a flag here about the 28-yard line from the near side official, the sideline judge. He's going to mark it at the 25 is where he moves his flag back to. So it looks like it's going to be a spot foul, maybe a holding or a block in the back on the Buffaloes, and that's going to bring them back. What a big kickoff return from the 7 all the way out to the 43. And that is not going to be good. Let's see what the penalty. Holding on the Buffaloes. And the Cougars benefit there from the mistake on the Buffaloes, a costly mistake. That's going to take them back inside the 20. They're going to lose up to 20, almost 23 yards on that penalty. That's going to be a costly one. But nonetheless, the Buffaloes will start with the ball. 9:36 remaining here in the third quarter. And they're going to start with the ball inside their 20. It looks like it'll be spotted at the 16-yard line. So a big penalty, 16-yard line start instead of the 43. Costly holding penalty on the Buffaloes. Tamplin comes back in, the quarterback for the Buffaloes. He'll have two receivers starting to the right. It looks like he'll be back under center with that I formation. C.J. Steele and Grimm, the tailback behind him. Steele in the pullback. Spot, Tamplin under center. He'll take the snap, turn quickly, hand to Steele, quickly up the middle. He gets hit quickly and driven back, and they'll blow the whistle dead. Forward momentum stopped for a gain of 1.5, maybe 2 yards. So I'll give him 2 yards up to the 18-yard line. Steele gets a 2-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Florence Buffaloes from the 18-yard line. And I tell you tonight, neither team in a hurry. They're doing just a great job of. They make the play, they stop, they don't get in the huddle necessarily, but they take their time. The coaches go through the signal, they use their play clock. Still 20 seconds left on it. Tamplin gets his call, but Tamplin now will start in the shotgun. Steele off to his right and Grimm. Hand off to the inside to Grimm. He breaks it back to the 20, up to the 21, where he stood up and driven down hard by the Cougar defense. He'll get a gain of about 4 there, 3 or 4. So it'll bring up 3rd down and I believe a 4 or 5. They're going to spot him at looks like the 22. So it's going to be a 3rd and 4. They've got to get to the 26-yard line. They're at the 22, so it's going to be 3rd down and 4 for the Florence Buffaloes. Tamplin back under center, 2 receivers to the right. I formation, Steele and Grimm behind Tamplin. He'll take the snap, step to the right. He'll take it to the right, breaks it outside the hash marks, up past the 25 and to the 27. That's going to be enough for a 1st down. A nice hard 5-6-yard run by Tamplin, and it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Florence Buffaloes. 8 minutes, 7 seconds, and counting here in the 3rd quarter. Your Jarrell Cougars lead it 28-14. Over the Buffaloes. They came out quickly here in the 3rd quarter, drive down, and a short field on a great kickoff return down to the 38 of Florence. And then they run it in, a nice 3-yard run by Warren for the touchdown. Tamplin back under center, wide receiver left and right, one each. Hands off to Grimm to the right. He breaks it outside, but he stacked up quickly, but the pile drives forward. Grimm got hit initially about a 2-yard gain, but ends up driving forward for a 7-yard gain. The pile just carrying on. Good momentum there by the Buffalo offensive line. And they get it down to a 2nd and 4 now from the 34-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 3. They've got to get to the 37. So a 2nd and 3 for the Buffaloes. 1 wide receiver left, 1 split right. Tamplin up under the center. I formation, Steele and Grimm behind him. Tamplin takes the handoff, spins around to his left, cuts back up the middle, and back out to the right, outside the hash marks to the numbers, and he'll be taken down in Jarrell territory about the 47-yard line. Nice run by Grimm as he circled to the left and cuts up the middle and then ends up breaking it out to the right, finds a gap, and a nice run there by Tamplin. And he'll take it all the way from the 34 of Florence to the 48 of Jarrell, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Buffaloes. Now in Jarrell territory for the first time this half. 6 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Tamplin back up under center. The tight end now goes into the slot. Tamplin steps back, hands it to Grimm. Grimm up the middle, stays in between the hash marks, rides all the way. The momentum down to the 41 of Jarrell. Tell you what, Grimm gets in there behind those linemen and just keeps running, churning his legs, and does a great job there, getting a 7-yard gain. Down to the 41. It'll be a 2nd down and 3 for the Buffaloes. They'll turn now, look to the coaching staff on the right far sideline. Florence going right to left on your radio dial, south to north. Tamplin back up under, got 2 receivers now to the left, 1 to the right, I formation. He steps back now to the right, pitches it off to Grimm. Grimm to the outside of the numbers, tries to cut it back and does. Gets down to the 30, breaks a tackle, and down to I believe, the 29-yard line. Nice running by Grimm there, and that'll be another 1st down for the Florence Buffaloes. Nice run there by Grimm. He took that pitch. You can see Tamplin getting very quick on that pitch. He got hit a couple of times early on in the game. Copeland laid him out one good time, and his pitches are coming a little bit quicker, and Grimm is just doing a good job of being prepared, grabbing the pitch, and taking off. Grimm didn't run in the 2nd series of the ball game. but he's been in every series after that, and he's done a great job. Tamplin back under center, 2 receivers right, 1 left. I formation, he'll step to the left, now cut it up the middle quickly. He'll drive up to the 25-yard line and be stacked up there. It'll be a 4-yard gain for the Buffaloes. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6 from the Cougar 25. Florence driving. They started the possession out on their own 16 after the big holding penalty on the kickoff return that cost them 27 yards. Costly penalty, but they have not let that slow them down as they have driven the ball, running it every play here in this drive. Tamplin quickly back up under center. I formation. He'll turn around, hand it to Grimm. Outside the right hash to the numbers. He cuts it out, but quickly gets grabbed and driven back. Great play there by the Cougar defense to limit the run. They're going to spot him forward to about the 23-yard line. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 3 for the Buffaloes from the 22 of Jarrell. Great tackle there to keep Grimm from getting loose and breaking it towards the end zone. He started out on the hash marks and tried to make a break out towards the far numbers, and somebody put the habeas grabus on Grimm, threw him backwards and stopped his momentum. Great play there by the Cougars. Big 3rd down here. 3rd and 3 from the 22. Now Tamplin back in the shotgun. He low snap, picks it up, hands it to Grimm on the inside, up the middle, stuck at the 20. Momentum kept driving, and they're going to blow him down about the 19. It's going to be close to a 1st down here. They're going to stop the clock. We may actually get a measurement here, depending on the spot. They haven't signaled the 1st down. Now we got a Florence Buffalo lineman, it looks like, down on the ground. He's rolled over now to his back, but he looks to be in obvious pain as the training staff comes out. The stadium has kind of gone quiet. We'll see what's going on here as the training staff for Florence comes running out. All the players for Jarrell taking a knee. They're going to move over to their near sideline to give some room for the player. But all the training staff's checking on the Florence Buffalo player who's down on his back in the middle of the field about the 19-yard line. Florence, the rest of their team has moved over towards their sideline. Everyone taking a knee on both sidelines. As the stands are both pretty quiet here, trying to see what's going on for this young man down. We're going to take a quick break. We'll see how quick this goes, but we'll be back with you shortly after we find out and see what's going on with a player down here in Jarrell, Texas. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of the Jarrell Cougar football game here in Jarrell, Texas. set the scene for you real quick. The quarter open, the half open with Jarrell driving down and scoring. Florence now on the return, driving down. And now we've got a Florence player down. He has not moved. They have moved the Florence players off fully onto their sideline, and now the Jarrell Cougar team off on their side. And it looks like the EMS staff is being summoned from the northwest corner of the stadium. The officials are all standing around conversating. Coach Amos Davidson is out at the player, along with Coach Bridges from the Florence Buffaloes. And so we are going to take an extended break here. We are going to see what's going on and just hope and pray for the best for this young athlete here from Florence. And so we'll return when we get ready to play again. But the extended break, just so you know, will be due to an injury on the field here in Jarrell, Texas. Bringing it back here to the stadium in Jarrell, Texas, just to let you know, if you're listening at home to SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football, we are in a holding pattern as we have a player still down on the field. One of the Florence Buffalo linemen went down about the 19-yard line of Jarrell. He's being tended to. They're currently medically securing him on a backboard and waiting for transport to come get him off the field. So we'll have an extended break. Stay with us. When we're ready to return to action, we'll bring it back here live to the Jarrell Cougar football stadium. But in the meantime, just stand by as we wait for this young man, and we send out our thoughts and prayers to his family and to this young man that he'll be all right and come back from this injury. We'll be back on SHN Sports. Welcome back to Jarrell, Texas. Here in the home of the Jarrell Cougars, here on SHN Sports Football. Just another update. Florence Buffalo player down in the middle of the field has been down for some time now. So we're on an extended break as EMS, Williamson County EMS support staff have arrived and are coming out onto the field to tend to the player. And so we'll be on an extended period. I tell you what, this is a moving scene right here as I watch. I'm going to keep it here and talk to you about it. But the Jarrell Cougar football team and the Florence Buffalo football team and their coaching staffs and all the help and student staff are coming to the middle of the field right now. And they're taking a knee together. Looks like they're going to take a time of prayer. And just a moving scene to be witnessing here in Jarrell, Texas. What an awful situation to be watching for this young man. And so our thoughts and prayers go out to him and the Buffalo team and the Florence family and his family. It's just a powerful scene at midfield right now. I wish you could just see it with me as the two teams gather around, the coaches in their hats removed, the players on their knees, and just in a time of prayer for this young man. And so we'll take it back to a break. Come back when we are ready to resume football. Just keeping you updated here on SHN Sports. And ask you to just bear with us and continue to send your thoughts and prayers towards the Florence Buffaloes team and the player that is down on the field. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football here in Jarrell, Texas. Still in a break from this ball game. There's 4 minutes left in the third quarter. The Jarrell Cougars lead 28-14. The Florence Buffaloes were driving, and currently there is a player that now has been down on the ground for some time. Medical staff is around him. One of the Williamson County EMS command vehicles has shown up, is on the field, and they have continued to perform different. It's hard to see from way up here and to know what's going on. We're not sure yet of the player that is involved or the Buffaloes, but they are currently still around him. The players from both teams met at midfield and had a prayer. The coaches were out there. It was just a moving scene from the two teams. To have a stadium this full and this quiet has been just unbelievable. The thoughts and prayers going out to this young athlete from Florence as he still is down on the field. And so we're going to continue our break and keep you guys updated periodically. But we pray and ask that you just stay with us. We'll resume action when ready and just upon the official's call. But just continue to send your thoughts and prayers to Florence and the Buffalo Nation and this young man that's down on the ground and his family and friends and his teammates. And we'll resume as soon as we can here on SHN Sports. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football. I'm Wally Harvin here in Jarrell, Texas. The scenario is this. 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Jarrell Cougars lead the Florence Buffaloes 28-14. The game has been stopped now for some 30 to 45 minutes as a Florence Buffalo player has been down on the field about the 19-yard line of the Jarrell Cougars. EMS command staff has been here for some time and tended to the young man, and now the EMS ambulance has arrived and will be driving on the field momentarily. And so we are still in a stall as we make sure and get this young man taken care of and taken care of medically. So we're going to still step away. Just want you to know our current status is that an ambulance has arrived to transport the young man. So we request that your thoughts and prayers still be sent out to the Florence family, the Buffalo football team, the family as the parents are on the field with the player, and the staff attending to him. So we'll be back shortly, and thank you for waiting for us here on SHN Sports. Welcome back to Jarrell, Texas. The roar of the crowd. Best we can get from our field mic. Everybody on their feet from both sides. Jarrell and Florence as they have the player on the stretcher and being loaded into the back of the ambulance in the north end zone. I have never seen a stadium full and silent the entire time. And that was quite the, I don't even know what to call it, the situation that these two teams have faced. These players now are putting their helmets back on. It looks like they're going to prepare to go back into action here in Jarrell, Texas. The Cougars are lining up on the 50-yard line from their sideline out to almost midfield. And they're going to start their warm-ups now. Each team is going to have to get prepared, stretch back out. This delay has been, I'm going to assume, about 45 minutes from the time it happened until this point. And so both teams are going to do some little calisthenics, a little stretching, get those muscles moving again as they wait for the ambulance and medical personnel to all be able to clear the field. And the referee's setting up the ball, trying to figure out where everything is at. We'll bring you back to the field. Thank you for sticking with us through the delay. We apologize and just send everything we can, our thoughts and prayers to that young athlete. We pray and hope that he is okay and will recover from his injury, whatever that may be. We pray for the Florence, his teammates, as they go back into battle, knowing that one of their own is being tended to medically. And so thank you for sticking out with us. We return here to the third quarter. Jarrell Cougars 28, Florence Buffaloes 14. There's 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Florence has the ball at the 19-yard line of Jarrell. They have driven down from their own 16-yard line. The drive started on a kickoff. The return was all the way up to the 43-yard line. A holding penalty brought it back. A holding penalty happened about the 25. So Florence started about the 16-yard line and they have driven down all the way to the 19 of Jarrell. And so they will start from the 19-yard line when play resumes. Third quarter here on SHN Sports is sponsored by Your Personal MD. We thank them for their sponsorship of the third quarter here of Jarrell Cougar football. Sponsors for the night's ball game. This game is brought to you in part by Georgetown Jewelry. Proud supporter of Jarrell Cougar football. For all your jewelry needs, including weddings, visit Georgetown Jewelry online at georgetownjewelry.com or in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown. Also by our Bank of Jarrell. When you do business with our bank, our community bankers will take the time to listen to your financial needs and desires in order to help you create unique solutions that will allow you to achieve these goals. We have solutions for your personal and business needs or a combination of the two. Visit ourbanktexas.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender, and Eagle Auto Parts of Jarrell, WVE Vehicle Electronics, offering a portfolio of high-quality aftermarket vehicle electronics, including connectors, relays, solenoids, switches, emission, and ignition electronics. Building upon a foundation of premium full-line programs established under the NGK Spark Plug and NTK sensor brands, WVE products are rigorously tested and engineered to perform in import and domestic vehicles. For your vehicle electronic needs, choose WVE Vehicle Electronics. Precision engineered to perform. Found at your hometown Eagle Auto Parts store in Jarrell, Texas. And yourpersonalmd.net. Yourpersonalmd.net strives to be the real family doctor and desires to let their skills provide high-quality care in a setting that will provide satisfaction both for ourselves and for your patients. Visit yourpersonalmd.net. Go Cougars. So we reset. Jarrell Cougars have done their warm-ups. The quarterbacks taking some tosses on the sideline. The Florence Buffaloes on the far side, the east sideline. They're finishing up their calisthenics, stretching out, getting prepared. Still waiting for the medical personnel to leave the field. It looks like the ambulance has loaded up and will be here, departing here shortly from the field. The crowd has thinned out a little bit. Some of the fans have left to this long delay, late night here, as we have passed the 10 o'clock hour, 10:03 p.m. here in Jarrell, Texas. So a delay brings us back to football. The Cougars leading it by 14. Started out hot for the third quarter. Jarrell got the ball. The kickoff returned all the way to the 38 of Florence. And the Cougars wasted no time in punching the ball in for a touchdown to start the scoring off and push their lead on the 2-point conversion back to 2 touchdowns. Warren with the 3-yard TD run, capping off that drive, first drive of the third quarter. And so here we go. The team's now getting prepared to take back to the field. The referee's calling it back to action as the ambulance leaves the field. And we just pray for that young man as he leaves. Crowd, one more round of applause.
Young man, I did not catch his number, but my heart and prayers just go with you. Godspeed, my friend.
The PA announcer requesting that moment of silence for the Florence Buffalo player. So the Jarrell Cougars defense has taken back to the field. They are now on defense. The Florence Buffaloes are going right to the left on your radio dial from the south, headed north. And the offense comes back on the field. Tamplin, the quarterback, will be back in charge for the Buffaloes. So we'll take a look with them, see how they set back up. Tamplin's going to be back under center with an I formation, 2 receivers to the left. Tamplin takes a snap, pitch to the right to Grimm. Grimm takes it, heads right to the hash marks, and is tackled about the 14-yard line. That'll be a gain of 5. Bring up 2nd and 5 for the Florence Buffaloes. Wilson on the tackle for the Cougars. 2nd and 5 from the 14-yard line for the Buffaloes. Tamplin back up under center with the I formation, 2 receivers left. He takes a snap, hands it quickly to Grimm. He's met quickly at the 15-yard line, driven back to the 22, 23-yard line. It's going to be about a loss of 2. They spot it kind of in between the 15 and 16-yard line. Great job by the defensive line of the Cougars. Quick hit on Grimm as you try to go up the middle and loses a couple of yards there. Not many times Grimm has run into somebody at the line and lost yards. Great job of the Cougar defense there. They now bring up a critical 3rd and 7 for the Buffaloes. Cougars lead 28-14, 2:55 in the third quarter remaining. Tamplin back under center, 2 receivers left, I formation. Tamplin takes a snap, steps to his left. He's going to cut back up the middle. He cuts back to 15, down to the 11. He's tackled just shy of the 10-yard line. Between the 10 and 11, that's going to bring up a 4th down. They've got to get to the 9-yard line for the first down, so it's going to be about 4th and 2 for the Buffaloes. So a big stand here for the Cougars. Late in the third quarter, they're up 14, 28-14. Cougars leave the Buffaloes. 2:20 on the clock and counting. The Buffaloes go for it. Tamplin back under center. No wide receivers. Tight line. He turns around, hands it to Grimm. Grimm's met at the 11-yard line and dropped for a loss. They're going to spot him at the 10, but it's going to be no go for the Buffaloes. The Cougar defense stands it up and gets the ball back. Didn't get it. Turnover on downs. Cougars defense coming through. What a great stop by the D-line, shutting Grimm down 2 times on that last series there. Grimm gets stacked up at the line for a loss, and the Cougars get the ball back with 2 minutes and 11 seconds left here in the third quarter on a 1st and 10 on their own 10-yard line. Great play by the Cougars. Get stood up at the Jarrell 10. Great defensive stand by the Cougars. 2:11 remaining in the third quarter. So the Cougars take over. It'll be in shotgun snap. Aaron Rodriguez, the quarterback. One running back to the right, sticks it in the belly. Oh, flea flicker, he tosses back. Rodriguez is going to fire down the right sideline, wide open. Caught at the 45, taken down at the 48 of Florence. What a little trickery he can do for the team. Getting the crowd back into it quickly as they go from the 10 all the way down to the 48 of Florence. A 42-yard play. Hands it to Warren, pitches back to Rodriguez, and heaves it all the way to the wide open receiver. What a play. And quickly the Cougars back to the line. Rodriguez in the shotgun, takes a snap. He drops back 2 yards, and he'll look to throw. Scrambles back a little more. Now across the middle, wide open. Hits the receiver at the 30. He's strolling down the 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Jarrell Cougars, and they just open it up quickly. What a play by the Cougars. Rodriguez hit the receiver in stride and no one in the area. Runs it in from the 30-yard line. 48-yard pass and catch for the touchdown for the Cougars. Great job there by your Cougars. I believe it was Schamberger on the reception. Nonetheless, a nice 48-yard strike for the Cougars to push the lead to 20, 34-14. Jesus Perez back in the extra point try here. Snap is high. Try to get it down, and it gets it. It's blocked and no good off to the left. Had enough distance even after the block, but it was off to the left, so no good, and that'll leave our score with 1:34 left in the third quarter. Your Jarrell Cougars 34, the Florence Buffaloes 14. Quick break here on SHN Sports. We'll be back. Welcome back to Jarrell, Texas, and SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football. 1 minute, 34 seconds left in the third quarter. And your Jarrell Cougars lead it by 20, 34-14. A big 48-yard touchdown pass and catch from Rodriguez to Schamberger. The Cougars kick it off. Jesus Perez with the kick. Nice and deep. Build it at the 8-yard line on the run by the Buffaloes up to the 20, 25, and hit quickly at the 26 and thrown back. What a play there. Great job of coverage by the Cougars. And the Buffaloes will start at the 27-yard line of their own 27-yard line. 1 minute, 28 seconds left here in the third quarter. Grimm on the return there. Got it from the 8 up to the 27, a 19-yard return for Grimm. And that sets the table here for the Florence Buffaloes. First and 10 at their own 27. Down by 20. Your Jarrell Cougars playing great football tonight here at home in their home opener. Tamplin back under center. I formation, 2 receivers left. Tamplin takes a snap, spins to the left, pitches to Grimm on the left side. He runs outside towards the hashes, out towards the numbers, and finally taking a bound down about the 39-yard line. But there is a flag from the near sideline. The sideline judge throws it in. And it's going to be holding on the Buffaloes, and that's a costly penalty there. Grimm with about a 13-yard run, and that's negated with the holding penalty. And that'll push the Buffaloes back inside their own 20 and again. And it'll be a long first down. We'll see how far it's going to go back. Jarrell Cougar band firing it up here in the third quarter. A minute and 20 seconds left in the third with a 20-point lead. And band getting this crowd rocking. Student section down, going crazy for the Cougars. Well, quite a difference in a week there. Whitney, and not a good game there as Whitney just came out and put it on the Cougars. And this week, the Cougars are returning that favor to the Florence Buffaloes. So it looks like the ball is back to the 19-yard line. It's going to be first and 19 for the Buffaloes. Tamplin back under center in the I formation. 2 receivers left. He takes a snap, spins to the right. Quick handoff to Sill up the middle. Sill pushing ahead, breaks 2 tackles, across the 35 to the 40, and down to the 42-yard line. What a run. Tamplin Hands it quickly to Seal, the up back. That in the fullback position, he takes it for 19, make it 22 yards. And now another player down. It looks like Seal. He got rode down hard about that 41, 42-yard line. It'll be the 41 is where they spot him. And so now the Florence Buffaloes take another knee. 47 seconds remaining on the clock here in the third quarter. And medical staff for Florence back out on the field. The player down on his back about the 43, 44-yard line of Florence. Another Buffalo on his back. He's been helped up now. It is going to be Sill. Sill helped to his feet, and he kind of walks off gingerly with the medical staff on both sides of him. Not sure what happened to Sill, but he walks off gingerly, but under his own power to the sideline. It'll bring up a 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. What a big run there by Sill. Takes the ball from the 19 all the way out to the 41. 22-yard run by Sill. 1st and 19 was nothing for him. He brings up another 1st and 10 now for the Buffaloes. They wind the clock. 35 seconds and counting here in the third quarter. Jarrell leads the Buffaloes 34-14. Tamplin at quarterback. He'll be up under center. He's got a receiver to the left, 2 to the right. I formation. Hands it to Grimm on the right side. He goes up inside the middle to about the 43. Be a gain of 2. Bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Buffaloes. And that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. 10 seconds and the clock's running. And neither team has been in a speedy motion to run the play clock quickly. So that brings us to the end of the third quarter. Your Jarrell Cougars leading it 34-14. We will let the band take us to break. And we'll be back for the fourth quarter here of Jarrell Cougar football on SHN Sports. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football here on the SHN Network. Wally Harmon here in the booth. The Cougars leading the Buffaloes 34-14. 2nd and 8 for the Florence Buffaloes. Now they are headed north to south, left to right on your radio dial. 2nd and 8. Tamplin under center. He spins around, bumps into Grimm on the handoff. Kind of a messed up play there. Grimm met quickly after a 2-yard gain and thrown back. And now a penalty comes in after the play by the head referee. Just a 2-yard gain for Grimm up to the 42-yard line. It would be 3rd and 6. Make it the 43-yard line. Be 3rd and 5. But there is a penalty. Looked like a personal foul on the Cougars. I think at the end of the play there, after Grimm was stacked up and then thrown back, a little unnecessary roughness for the Cougars. So a big penalty there instead of it being 3rd and 5. It is a big 1st and 10 on the Jarrell 42-yard line. So the Cougar defense there gets a little sloppy, a little overzealous. And now the defense has to make a stand now. Tamplin at quarterback, up under center. Wolzebach is the fullback for Sill. Quick handoff. No, he doesn't get the handoff, and he's stacked up. It looks like Jake Copeland and another defensive lineman quickly take Tamplin down for a loss of 3. That'll bring up a 2nd and 13 from the 45-yard line of Jarrell. Great job by the defensive line there, not giving any time for Wolzebach to get the handoff. Tamplin didn't have much time to react, and he goes down quickly for the loss. Great job there of recovering from a big penalty on the Cougars. They get a loss of 3 to bring up 2nd and 13. 10:59 in the fourth quarter. 34-14. Your Cougars lead the Buffaloes from Florence. Tamplin back up under center. 2 wide receivers to the left. I formation. Turns around, pitch to the left, outside the hash marks to the numbers is Grimm. He breaks it down past the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Hit a couple of times, continues to carry a pile, and they'll finally stack him up. It looks about the 16-yard line. Big run for Grimm again around the outside. He loves to get outside the numbers and use that speed, and he does it there. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line of Jarrell for the Florence Buffaloes. 10 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the ball game. Quick pitch there from Tamplin. I went blank. I apologize. Tamplin. He pitched out to the left, and Grimm used that speed and got outside the hash marks out to the numbers and just ran away. 1st and 10, 2 receivers left, I formation. Tamplin drops the snap, picks it up. He scrambles back behind the 22, gets run outside the numbers to the line. He'll get about a yard, driven out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Good job by Tamplin there to not have a loss on the play. He scrambles after fumbling that snap, the exchange from the center, and picks up. They're going to give him the 15-yard line, a gain of 2. So it'll be 2nd and 8 now from the 15 of Jarrell for the Florence Buffaloes. 34-14. The score. Jarrell leads by 20 here with 10 minutes and 3 seconds left in the ball game. Now the Buffaloes appear to flip it right. 2 wide receivers to the right. Tamplin back under center. Wolzebach in the up back. Grimm back behind about 7 yards. Turn, quick handoff, hit quickly, and Wolzebach stacked up at the 15. Going to be the 16, a loss of a yard. So that'll bring up 3rd and 9 for the Buffaloes. And now the Cougars have a player coming up kind of gimpy, but he's going to stand up and he's going to come off now. They're going to send a replacement. He can come off gingerly. Looks like he got maybe a stinger in his shoulder, his arm kind of dangling there. But he comes off the field. It's Crathers over to the sideline. So we got a substitute in for Crathers. Hopefully he'll be all right. Go down and get some treatment there on the sideline. That brings up 3rd and 9 at the 16-yard line of Jarrell. Tamplin back under center. He's got 2 wide receivers right. Wolzebach in the fullback position. Grimm left. Quick snap. Grimm. He can't get the pitch off. He cuts it back up the middle. Good job by Tamplin there to avoid the sack. And he cuts it up the middle. He gets a first down to the 6-yard line, 7-yard line of Jarrell. It's going to be 1st and goal. First and goal for the Buffaloes from the 7-yard line of Jarrell. 8 minutes, 55 seconds left in the ball game. 34-14, the Cougars lead it. Great play there by Tamplin. Wasn't able to get the handoff off to Wolzebach. Cuts it up the middle and makes a first down run out of it. And we got a false start there. The tight end breaks off the line. Number 82. That's a good kind of a jumbled up play there. It looks like the timing on the snap was a little off, and 2 or 3 players actually moved. 82 just gets pointed out since he took off 2 or 3 yards down the field. That'll move it back. 1st and goal from the 12 of Jarrell. Florence will have the ball, trying to cut into this 20-point lead that the Cougars have amassed on them. 34-14, 8 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock here in the final quarter of the ball game. Tamplin up under center, 1 wide receiver right, 1 left. He goes back, drops back to pass, gets rushed, and he's going to be brought down for the sack. What a sack by the Cougars, bringing Tamplin all the way back to the 23-yard line. What a play. Tried to scramble away and get the pass off and just couldn't do it. Too much pressure. 2 or 3 different Cougars chasing him down, and a big loss on the play. They're going to cut his loss at the 21-yard line, and that brings up 2nd and goal for the for the Buffaloes from the 21. So here we go. 2 wide receivers left for the Buffaloes. I formation, Tamplin up under center. Tamplin's going to pitch left to Grimm. Grimm to the outside hash marks. Cuts it back up, and he gets taken down about the 16-yard line. About a 5-yard gain there. It'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 16 for the Buffaloes. Nice job there of the Cougars pursuing, not letting Grimm get all the way out to the numbers to the sideline like he likes to do. You get around that end and use that speed. He got brought back in towards kept near the far hash marks and taken down after a gain of 5. So 3rd and goal from the 16 for the Buffaloes. 7 minutes on the game clock remaining in the ball game. 34-14, Cougars lead it. Big play here, 3rd and goal from the 16. Tamplin back up under center, 2 wide receivers right, I formation. He'll step back, 5-step drop. He looks to throw, and he's getting rushed. Now he's scrambling it back at about the 30, and he throws it down to about the 20, make it the 18. It's going to be an incomplete pass. Had a receiver right in the area. He was outside the tackle box. Now Tamplin kind of squats down. He took a shot there at the end, but he's back up and walking gingerly towards the huddle. And what a great job of pursuit by the defense of the Cougars, making life miserable for Tamplin here in the 4th quarter, not letting him set up for any of these pass plays. And he's taken a beating here in the 4th quarter at the hands of your Cougar defense. Great pursuit, multiple players chasing him down. 4th and goal. Big play here. It could be the kind of the nail in the coffin for the Cougars. Tamplin back, scrambles to the left. He's going to fire up to the end zone. The pass is up. It's going to be intercepted at the goal line and run out to the 6. And the Cougar defense stands again. What a play. Tamplin fires it up, has a receiver in the area, but the pickoff. C.J. Allen makes the interception at the goal line for your Cougars. And that's going to be it. 6 minutes, 40 seconds. What a big stand by the Cougar defense again tonight. C.J. Allen making the big play at the goal line on the 4th and goal attempt. Makes the interception, returns it back to the 6, and that's where the Cougars take over. 6 minutes, 40 seconds left. (34-14). What a ball game by these Cougars. They have come back in their home field, and they have defended their home well. Rodriguez back in the shotgun. Wide receivers to the left, 2 of them. He'll take it, hand it off. Oh, he cuts out back into the end zone. Barely gets out, tackled back at the 5, right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Torres in at running back. He took it back into the end zone. Barely escapes a tackle there. Would have been for a loss, for a safety. But he cuts it back up, gets back to the 6. Saves the day there. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 6-yard line. Rodriguez takes it, quick snap, and he gets a pass off, caught, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 45, 40. Woo! Oh, he breaks it all the way, breaks the tackle, and a touchdown. What a play. 94-yard passing catch for your Cougars. Another touchdown on the board. Rodriguez fired a bullet out to the right. What a pass, catch, and run for your Cougars. Another touchdown on the board, and they are pouring it on. When I thought it was done, they'd run out the clock. Quick strike for a 94-yard play. What a job by Rodriguez to try to see who caught that pass. He was so quick, his number was blurry. Jesus Perez in, trying to kick the extra point. Well, got a player coming in late. So they'll settle up. 5 minutes, 51 seconds left. Here comes the snap down. And it's down. The kick is up and through the uprights. Jesus Perez knocks it through. Stretches a lead out. 41-14. A 27-point lead for your Cougars. What a job. The offense is clicking. The defense is clicking. I tell you what, you couldn't ask for a better turnaround for these Cougars. A rough night last week in Whitney, and man, what a great night here in Jarrell, Texas. We'll take a quick timeout, come back for the final 5 minutes and 51 seconds of this ballgame. Your Cougars lead 41-14 here on SHN Sports. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football. Brought to you this fourth quarter by Georgetown Jewelry, the fine Ricky Poe, sponsoring Jarrell Cougar football. Thank you, Ricky Poe and the Georgetown Jewelry. What a fine shop there in Georgetown, Texas. And we appreciate your sponsorship here of tonight's fourth quarter. The kickoff from Jesus Perez from the 40-yard line to the north end zone. It's going to be back into the end zone, about 3 yards deep. It's going to be brought out by Grimm. He's going to cut it in, and now back out to the numbers to the right side of the 15 and taken down at the 18. Nice job by the Cougars there, not letting Grimm get into open space. But I tell you what, that young man does it all for the Buffaloes. He's a great running back, does a great job on kick returns. But right there, it's about a 21-yard return, 3 yards deep, gets it out to the 18-yard line, make it the 19. A 22-yard return by Grimm, and that'll set up 1st and 10 from their own 19 with 5 minutes, 42 seconds left here in the ball game. 27-point lead for your Cougars, 41-14. After a big 94-yard pass, catch, and run by the Cougars, putting the nail in the coffin of the Florence Buffaloes tonight. But they're going to keep battling. Tamplin back into quarterback. He's up under center. 2 receivers left, 1 right. He turns and pitches to the outside. Outside to the left, outside the hash marks to the numbers. And taken down at the 20 after a gain of 1. Got a couple of new running backs in. I'm going to have to catch the numbers there for the Buffaloes. But that'll bring up a 2nd and 9 for the Buffaloes. 5 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock and running. A gain of 1 there. Wolzebach is one of the running backs, number 25 back there for the Buffaloes. Trying to find out who the other new addition in the backfield is for the Buffaloes. Tamplin back under center. He'll hand it off to Wolzebach. He'll cut it back outside. Nice move there. Outside the numbers to the 20. Back to the line of scrimmage. Misses a tackle. What a great move there to get past the speedy cornerback, closing quickly to gain 4 yards. Nice job by Wolzebach there. What a move to at least get something positive there. So now it brings up 3rd and 5 for the Buffaloes from the 24-yard line. Number 4. Armando Garcia in as the up back in the I formation for the Buffaloes. Garcia about 3 yards behind Tamplin. Wolzebach behind him. Tamplin back, scrambles to the left. Now he's going to throw it up. Wide open is number 15, I believe it is. He's down to the 50, 40 of Jarrell. Taken out of bounds about the 30. Oh, he's going to step out right at the 40. Far side line judge gets him out of bounds at the 40, but a big pass play from Tamplin. He did that normal spin move out of the snap, and he just curled out, little bootleg to the left, and wide open was the receiver, number 16. I apologize. Derek LeBounty makes the catch and gets it all the way down to the 40 of Jarrell. Nice play there by Tamplin to LeBounty. Brings up a 1st and 10 from the Cougar 40. 4 minutes, 7 seconds left on the clock here in the ballgame. Tamplin back under center, turns around, hands it to Wolzebach. He cuts it inside now, outside the hash marks, and a flag comes down. Wolzebach continues the run, and now he'll be tackled down at the 26-yard line of Jarrell. Nice little run there for a gain of about 14, but it's going to come back after the holding penalty. The near side line judge threw the flag about the 36-yard line, and that spells bad news for the Buffaloes again. Another holding penalty, and that's costly. Instead of a 14-yard gain, it's a 10-yard loss, and now it'll bring up 1st and 20 for the Buffaloes from the midfield stripe. 3 minutes, 57 seconds on the clock right now as they step off the penalty and move the ball back to the midfield stripe. 41-14 is the score. Jarrell Cougars having an outstanding game. Offensively, defensively, just playing a great game on their home field to open up their home season here. And now the flag goes from the spot, so it's not going to be a 1st and 20. It's going to be a 1st and 16 from the 46. Ball spotted at the 46 of Jarrell. Tamplin back under center. 2 receivers left, 1 right, I formation. He missed play. He gets lost, turns around, and gets met by 3 Jarrell Cougars. And Tamplin goes down for a loss. Back to the 49-yard line, and that'll bring up 2nd and 19 for the Buffaloes. You can tell there's a little bit of mishap there as Tamplin tries to make the turn and hand off to either Garcia or Wolzevak, and it just didn't go right. New players in, new scheme going, and he had to eat the ball, and as soon as he tried to figure out what to do, he's met by 3 of the defensive linemen of Jarrell and driven back for the 4-yard loss. 2nd and 19, 2 receivers left. Tamplin under center, I formation, drops the snap, picks it up, tosses it to Wolzevak across the left side, outside the hash marks, over to the numbers, breaks a tackle, down to the 45, down to the 44, and that's about as far as he'll get. Maybe the 43 is what they're going to spot him on the far side. It'll be a gain of 6. That'll bring up 3rd and 13 for the Florence Buffaloes. 2 minutes and 38 seconds and counting on the clock. Great job. Wolzevak is a back that's quick. He's got some good moves back and forth and makes you miss tackles. Great job filling in. Now stepping in here behind Grimm on the field for the Buffaloes. Tamplin back under center. Now LeBounty cuts all the way across, 2 receivers left. He'll roll out to the left and he'll throw it. LeBounty goes up, catches it, and as soon as he catches it, takes a lick in the back from the Cougar quarterback. What a great job of defense there. Pass is completed. It's going to be down to the 37-yard line of Jarrell. Be a gain of 6, but that'll bring up a 4th and 7 now for the Buffaloes. And here's their last chance here in this drive. If they don't convert, it'll be all but over, baby. We'll just have to count down the last minute and 40 seconds or so. So the Buffaloes are going to get their play in. No teams have taken a timeout here in the second half. We had the nice delay, a long delay during the injury, and still thoughts and prayers going out to that young man from Florence as he goes to the hospital. Florence continuing to fight. They're going to snap it here. 4th and 7. Tamplin back, rolls out to his right. Ooh, chop block there, not called. He's going to heave it up, and it's going to be batted down by the Cougars, and another defensive stand by your Jarrell Cougars. Opportunity to maybe pick it off, and does the best job there and just knocks it down instead of picking it up at the 10. Cougars take over at their own 37. Great job of defense by the Cougars. They make one more stand, and that's how we're going to end this, baby. 1 minute and 20 seconds. 1 minute, 26 seconds left in the ball game. The Cougars will take over on their own 37. And I would assume we're going to run this clock out here. Coach Davidson giving instructions, the huddle on the near side numbers for the offense. And now the Cougars will go out. Florence on the field, ready for the snap. 1st and 10 from their own 37. Looks like Edgar's back in a quarterback. He'll take the snap, hand it off to the running back to his right. He breaks a tackle, spins around, gets past the 40 up to the 41, now the 42, where he's taken down. Gain of 5 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Cougars. 1 minute, 10 seconds left on the clock. They'll have to snap it a couple more times, but that's about it to run it out here. Edgar back in at quarterback. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Running back right to the right of the quarterback, Edgar. They're going to let the play clock run down. 52 seconds on the game clock, 14 on the down clock. They're going to let it run down. Jarrell just trying to run the clock out here. Edgar with 5 seconds left on the down clock. He'll take the snap, hand it off to the running back to his right. He'll run right up the middle, take a hit, pile up about the 45-yard line, and be driven back. Forward progress has him at the 44-yard line. That's going to do it, folks. They're going to be able to run this clock out, not snap it again. 25 seconds on the clock and running. 3rd down and 5. Make it 3rd down and 3 for the Cougars, but they're not going to have to snap it again, and that's going to be the ball game. We'll watch the last 15 seconds count off as your Jarrell Cougars come into the ball game and take it convincingly. 41-14. What a battle by the Cougars. My thoughts go out to the Florence Buffaloes. How do you come back and play when one of your players goes down? And they came back after a 45-minute plus delay, and they played hard. They kept fighting. This Cougar team just put it on them. The defense played great. The offense played great. They didn't stop, and they just had a great ball game. And what a win for the Jarrell Cougars. That'll bring them to 1-1 on the season and lead them to next week. We'll be back on the road in Ricel, 7:30 on Friday the 13th. Whoa. Friday the 13th, we'll be in Ricel, Texas, playing high school football, and your Cougars will go in 1 win and 1 loss. 1-1 record for the season. Florence drops to 0-2 on the season. They'll be back home next week against the Holland Hornets and in Florence. And so we'll take a quick break, be back and give you some final information before we shut it down. But your Jarrell Cougars win it on their first home opener of the season here in Jarrell, Texas, 41-14. Thanks for listening to SHN Sports. We'll be right back. Back here on SHN Sports, I'm Wally Harmon. Finishing up a night of Jarrell Cougar football here in Jarrell, Texas. And I tell you what, I couldn't end it any other way than seeing this scene I'm seeing right now in front of me. The Cougars and the Buffaloes meet at midfield as two teams coming together as one. The coaching staff, the cheerleaders, everything around the 50-yard line. And they come together and they say another prayer. And the example of sportsmanship in a rivalry between these two teams, these two small towns that are close to each other. They battle it out on the field, but then come together as one in the middle of the field and finish the game in prayer together. Our thoughts and prayers go out to this athlete from Florence, and we pray that he is going to be okay as he has been tended to now by medical professionals. But what a scene here tonight. And so proud of these Jarrell Cougar football players. They come back after a big loss last week. And they never thought twice about it. They came back and played their hearts out, defensively making plays, offensively making plays. They just didn't quit. And just a great example of teamwork. Coming back and playing hard for yourselves, for your teammates, for your coaches, for your community. What a great display tonight by your Jarrell Cougars. And hats off to the Florence Buffaloes and still competing after seeing your teammate go down in that long delay as he gets tended to. And so we just send our heartfelt thoughts and prayers to the Florence Buffaloes and their team and their families and the player that was hurt and his family. But we celebrate with our Cougars tonight as they win a big home opener here in the 2019 season, 41-14. I had to bring it back for that. I'm going to take a quick break, gather up some stats real quick from the possessions here in the second half, and just share some of the dominance that the Cougars showed tonight, and we'll wrap it up when we come back here on SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football. Welcome back to Jarrell, Texas, and Jarrell Cougar football here on SHN Sports. Wally Harmon, and what a great night of football here in Jarrell, Texas. They win the ball game 41-14 over the Florence Buffaloes. Tell you what, some great plays by this Jarrell Cougar team. And I was sitting here just recapping 3 drives in the second half, 4 with the last minute and 26 seconds where you run the timeout. Just a great job there. But in the third quarter, just impressive. We started out with a great kickoff return to the 38-yard line of Florence. Quick possession there. We punch it in and just start the scoring. And then we get the ball on our 10-yard line. And we make a great play there. They turn it over. We hold them. And at the 10-yard line, we have a 90-yard drive, capped off by a 48-yard catch by Schomburger for the touchdown. The catch and run there. Now all of a sudden they keep pouring it on. Then they get the interception by C.J. Allen down at the 5-yard line. Turn around. Crothers has a 94-yard touchdown catch and run for another Jarrell Cougar touchdown. And then they hold them on fourth down again at their own 37, at the Jarrell 37. The defense just continued to play aggressive, to play hard, and just not break. The 2 touchdowns given up, it's hard to stop. Grimm had a great game. He scored both touchdowns, a 2-yard run and an 8-yard touchdown run. But they just didn't allow anything to dominate them. They did a great job of containing Grimm, containing Seal, containing Wolzevak, and Tamplin. And Tamplin had a good ball game, and it was hard to catch him coming off that line. He's quick off of it, and once he makes a break, he would break in the open. But the Cougar defense just played phenomenal tonight. And after the turnaround, it's like nothing happened last week in their minds. They let that go, and they came out and just played great football. And so fun to watch. C.J. Allen, that great interception at the 1-yard line. Crothers catches that quick pass by Rodriguez at the – man, I don't think the pass may have been 3 yards. And Crothers grabbed it and ran for a 94-yard touchdown, and that was just a huge play to kind of just be the backbreaker. And then they hold again on 4th down and run the clock out with a minute and 26 seconds left, and just up and down the field. Great football by the Jarrell Cougars. They go to 1-1 on the season. Next week in Ricel, 7:30 here on SHN Sports on Friday the 13th. So we'll be with you back on the radio, back on SHN with Jarrell Cougar football. But for now, we send our thoughts and our prayers to the young man from Florence. I don't want to give a name because we're not 100% positive, but we just know he went down. He was down for a substantial amount of time, and we just send our heartfelt thoughts and prayers to that player, to his family, to his teammates in the Florence community, and we just pray that he'll be back as quickly as possible. But we pray for the medical staff as they tend to him, and hopefully everything will be fine with that young man. And we just applaud the crowd. What I witnessed tonight, I got to share with one of my children. My daughter was here helping me run the scoreboard. What we witnessed was just breathtaking. It was just phenomenal to see such courage, sportsmanship. The crowd was unbelievably silent as we just looked on and witnessed what was going on, and to see these teams come together with their coaches at the field and pray, and then to come together after the game, after a big battle, and they become one again. And just impressive in these 2 schools. I've never been more impressed by the Jarrell Cougar family and these players and these athletes, and the Florence Buffaloes and their fans and their athletes. And so what a thing to witness. I couldn't ask for more on my Friday night here in Jarrell, and I just pray that young man's fine. And we just thank you for listening in. I don't know how to end it. That was just a crazy football game, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And I just continue to think and pray about that young man and his family. And so we end it tonight thanking you for listening to the broadcast. The Jarrell Cougars are victorious, 41-14 over the Florence Buffaloes. And we will join you next week from Ricel, Texas, about 61 miles just northeast of here, out in just west of or east of Waco, and we'll be live for you about 7:15 to bring you the broadcast. And until then, we just ask you to seek out and do something good for others and not make it all about ourselves. Thank you for listening to Jarrell Cougar Football on SHN Sports.